go. It's going to be fun today. We love y'all. It's for the Anons. Here we go.
Classes in session, lights on the screen. Old posts resurfacing, you know what I mean. Breadcrumb trails from back in the day. Screenshots lined up, dates on replay. Scroll back years, line by line. What didn't hit then hits right on time. Side by side, yeah, we cross-check proof. Pulling threads till we hit the root. Late nights, coffee cold. Something clicks and your spine gets cold. Wait, hold up, look at that. Tell me how they missed the match. Welcome to Qschqql, buckle in tight. We decode drops in the middle of the night. 1 year, 4 year, Delta hits clean. When the dates line up, you know what I mean. We go deep, yeah, we don't play cool. Ask the questions they said don't pursue. From the first post to the final clue, yeah, welcome to Qschqql. Calendar flips, history bends, past meets present, connects again. Screens lighting up, yo, did you see that timestamp hits like destiny? Patterns stack, numbers talk, nothing random when you really look. Archive digging, frame by frame, different story when you know the game. Pause it, rewind, zoom it slow. Wait, that date was years ago. Now it's live, now it's real. That's the moment you feel the deal. Welcome to Qschqql, sharpen your mind, where coincidence falls every time. 1 year, 4 year, Delta hits clean when the drops align. It's electric, obscene, we don't memorize. We review, decode the past to see what's new. If you're chasing facts, not headlines too, yeah, welcome to Qschqql. Connect the dots, watch it land, then explain it. Step by step, hand in hand, not told what to think, learn how to see. Truth don't rush, it reveals patiently. Welcome to Qschqql, truth seekers unite, where the past shows up right on time. From old drops to today's news, when it lines up, there's no excuse. Dig it deeper, break the rules. Curiosity is the only tool. Decode it all, don't just consume. Yeah, welcome to Qschqql.
Let's go!
Welcome to Qschqql.
Oh yeah, that's from our the beautiful twins, Andrea and cute Livia. We love y'all out there, our beautiful family. We're gonna celebrate many of our friends down the road. We started a little late, got a tiny intro, so we'll still kind of hang around a little bit, tell some of our friends trickle in and stuff. So y'all know the deal. We're excited to be back though. It's been a wild and epic journey. We're gonna highlight all the ups and downs and in betweens and whatnot. So. But it's good to be back. We've been gone a couple days. Feels like a lifetime sometimes, the way the storylines move and stuff. So excited to see the beautiful friends again. Timbo 17 up there in Canada, 51st state on the way, and beautiful MelzieKaye. Love, 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 everybody.
Oh boy, 5 years in the bank, brothers and sisters. Holy jeez, I can't believe it. 5 years. You guys ready for another 5? Melzie, what do you say?
Lies, we're having a lot of fun along the way. Yeah, and when Hillary Clinton got asked about,
5 more years of shenanigans. Are you ready for it, folks? Oh boy.
Jay Rosemary in the house. I was just thinking about him. I was thinking about all the people that we should highlight and stuff. That even came on the show and stuff. Jay Rosemary, all the beautiful Anons in the chat, which are definitely part of the family, especially our version 5.0 or whatever one to go with that. Maybe we could still cover some of the history a little bit. I want to play General Apex's song also he made for us is really awesome, a Qschqql song. The girls have a couple versions too with our names, but that I love that one too. It's just like General, and I know General Apex made some ones too. Susan Calloway's made some amazing little videos and graphics about Qschqql, just taking in her own time and clips. Love that stuff. Brittany Stover too, decoders. Again, the chat people too. Cindy, haven't seen Cindy in a while. Send her some love. Scott Russell, help me out with some of the names that are in there all the time. Jedi, we got so many people. Thank you guys so much. And then on the Instagram side too, Amy Overman and Jules, part of the Sessions family. Trinity Eagle Eyes from our Telegram days. Also Trinity Dove 777 Instagram. I'm trying to think. There's many others. Thank you guys so much, beautiful friends too, all around the world. We're going to show some other cool Q proofs from the years, but also Qschqql proofs specifically. And I think it'll be pretty fun to highlight some of this stuff. But yeah, it's been quite a wild journey. But where this really started officially was after everyone lost their accounts after the January 6th event. And it actually took 2 days. Nobody lost the account until the January 8th, which is odd with all the psyops that played out from the January 6th situation. I'm not going to get all those details, but all of a sudden we went to Telegram. Many of us were called to create profiles before. So we had created it, but we were still on I was mostly posting memes on Instagram, and then I was kind of observing mostly and interacting with Anons a little bit in the Q community on Twitter. But I lost Instagram on election night, and many other people had these journeys of lost profiles and stuff. And then we all lost the Twitter accounts on the 8th. And that's a Q proof in itself, because next thing you know, we were all on Telegram, and new research board confirmed. And then that was the incredible new evolution of this journey in the truth seeking atmosphere was called these voice chats, right? The voice chats in a social media app type thing, right? Some old school people know of some old school voice chat things, but this was a place where a lot of people, like-minded people, could all be on a voice chat. I always say Tim could be in Canada and he asks a question, and somebody in Australia answers, and somebody in Georgia asks a question, and somebody else in California answers, and you hear different accents and different things going around the world, different belief systems. It was such a triggering awakening, such a wild journey. And lo and behold, then that's where Qschqql eventually started. I don't know how much we want to get in. I'm gonna let y'all share some other stuff. We'll cover some of the history. I see some people trickling in. Let us know maybe where you guys first came across us as well too, and maybe when you first either woke up or found the Q drops. Let's stick it to the Q drops. When did you first come across Qschqql, and when did you first come across the Q drops? And we can also ask our team those questions as well too, because we all have different answers along the way. So that would be interesting exercise to do too. But I'm gonna let somebody else go for a minute.
I'll let Tim go, because I think this is like I don't know that all people know how Qschqql came about, and so maybe you guys could tell the story about like your journey, Tim, and into how Qschqql came about.
Yeah, it has been quite the journey, and it's hard to believe we've made it through these 5 years. But if it wasn't for the camaraderie, the unity, and the Q drops, and all the digging and researching that we've all done collectively together and built these friendships, I don't think many of us, including myself, would have made it this far and been so calm, cool, and collected through the whole thing, and actually, laughing and joking about things in real time. I mean, as the world has been turned upside down. And of course, we've talked about the infiltration. We've talked about the globalist psychopaths, and, trying to connect all the dots on a daily basis. But really, the journey has been life altering. It's changed me as a person, as a man, and as a father to Matthew Q, my autistic son, who's been part of Qschqql since day one. And basically, I started it just because I was curious as a cat, right? Like when I was starting my wake up journey, starting on March 17th of 2020, when they shut the world down. And I want to tip and thanks to the White Hats for doing so, because if it wasn't for that era in history, that time in history, a lot of us would not have gotten the chance to meet online and build these friendships and learn what we've learned over these past 5 years. Now, I understand many people that I've met along the way. And of course, I'm not going to speak on behalf of Kyle and Melzie, but I'm pretty bang on that, we've met a lot of people in this journey that were already involved way before a lot of us started waking up. And you know, it comes and goes in phases, and everybody, you know, kind of wakes up at a different time in their lives. And for me, it was just simply, you know, I was in shock. I was going through all the emotions, the ups, downs, all arounds. I felt like I was kicked in the balls several times, gut punched. Like when I started waking up and realizing that I'd been lied to my whole life, you know, it took a real it took a while to go through all that. But thanks to the communities that were developed back in those days, you had the YouTube channels and you know, the all the X channels and that, before everything was censored. We had a chance to dive in on a daily basis, and that's what I did. So that whole COVID planned era for me was part of the Great Awakening journey for myself. And I got really, really interested in these, what they call the Q drops, right? The Q Intel board and all that, because I just, for whatever reason, probably God's timing, I was kind of, you know, as I was bouncing through the internet, I started stumbling across these shows, and one led to another, to another, to another, right? And I started picking up on Praying Medic and Methods back then, Red Pill 78, X22 report, like a lot of really good anons back then that
Incredible.
Hey,
Yeah, incredible anons just everywhere throughout the movement, and we've always done a great job highlighting them, especially. And Tim's done an incredible job. Just, I mean, he makes all the rounds, and he just absorbs all this information. But keep rock and rolling, Tim. I was just shouting out all of our amazing anons.
Yeah, and then the other show was the MG show. That was Jeff and Shannon. That's where I first had my first bout on Telegram, because I've never been on X. I was a Facebooker, and I blew up my account because I didn't know how to handle how to get the truth out there. But I was basically just slamming everything I was learning. I was just puking it onto Facebook. Not only did I get booted like 17 times, I fought them really hard, and I got back on once, but I could never get back on after that. But I lost probably 80% of my so-called friends, and they're not real friends, but I mean, all the contacts over the years and stuff. And they were calling me all kinds of names and stuff back then. I'll never forget it. But I was still angry, but I was excited at the same time. And it was because of these Q drops. And back then, the Q drops were coming on live. Like, I'd be watching the MG show, for example, their live show, daily show, and they'd had the alarm set on the Q Intel boards, right? On Qegg or Q Alerts or whatever one they were using back then. And the alarm would go off when a Q drop was posted, right? So it's like, oh my God, this is a real time. You know, the Q team is shoving a Q drop into everybody's on everybody's plate, on everybody's table to chew on, right? The crumbs to chew on. So we were digging live back then, and I was so excited. I just loved the energy of all the anons and the digital soldiers back then, and the whole community. Because it wasn't just the two guys, Jeff and Shannon. It was the whole support mechanism, the whole team. So that really, really got me thinking in a positive way. It got me out of that darkness that I was going through, because I just didn't know what direction. I didn't know how to get out of this. I didn't know how to figure this shit out, other than I had to just keep going back online and figuring this stuff out. And, you know, I started healing through the process of learning the ins and outs of the corruption around the world, not only here in the 51st state up here in Canada, but more importantly in the United States, because it was always, we learned early on, I did learn on early on, if the U.S. falls, so does the world, right? So I knew right then and there that my heart and my energy and everything had to go to my brothers and sisters in the United States, because I could see for the first time in my life what was really going on, and seeing more and more every day, the big picture. So how Qschqql started was basically, I wanted to share what I was going through with other people that maybe were trying to figure out the process and really still living through confusion and not knowing, you know, which way to go in this. So why don't we just start from the beginning? Let's keep it simple, stupid, right? The KISS rule. And let's just start rereading these Q drops right from the get-go, like right from when they started. So that's how Qschqql was formed. Jeff and Shannon were kind enough, as I got to know them on their Telegram channel, and I got to know the community there, and a lot of friendships were developed there, and we still are. I mean, we'll always have that connection and that friendship, even though we've gone our separate directions. But, you know, time will tell. Time is always a healer. But the things that I learned back then, I could never, I always have to applaud them and thank them for all the time and effort that they put in, and all the patriots that were involved in that channel. So in a nutshell, what happened was I asked for permission if I could come on and fill some of the void on their channel. It was a frequent Telegram channel that was open daily, like during the morning.
This was all a brand new thing too, guys. The brand new, there's these channels, these voice chats, and people were connecting with people. And this was such a foundational thing with the Telegram, because just like Tim was saying, in particular, you learn this stuff, and many people are seeing this now. Whatever wave you're on, right? Like this huge wave was from COVID. Show that comment. What's that one? We thank you, Tim, and truly blessed. You connect, love America. That's from Aaron and Bill Jackson. Love you guys, and happy anniversary, Laura Mary. Sorry, night two. You folks rock. Grateful for your commitment and services. Love your voices, warm and friendly. Cheers! Wow, 5 years. Thank you so much. We do really love that, especially when people kind of come out of nowhere and finally make comments and stuff. We love seeing that too, and because that's been so impactful, how many people we've impacted over the years. But here's the comment, and just to recap kind of the timeline. So this is Tim's timeline as he remembers this day specifically, waking up March 17th when the world got locked down. It was on the 17th, and then and then he mentioned that feeling all these different things, but all these the YouTube was open, was unlocked, so you could find all these other people dig in. Like I said, into all through 2020, the drops were coming in still too. So let's see. Aaron said, I was pissed on 317 when Trump canceled our St. Patty's Day celebration. At the point I was making corned beef and cabbage for the locals. So yeah, we've all had to get stirred up to wait. God shook you to awaken you. So anyways, that was a full year there. And then we didn't know the date yet, right? So Tim had been learning from people for about a year, but he was like, he wanted to actually read just the Q drops, because he's like, well, what's the deal? And they just kind of like, go read the first 50, 100 Q drops. It's like everybody says that, but where do you start? This is like daunting freaking task. It's a daunting freaking task. And so everyone else can relate them, like what Tim was feeling and all of us has felt is like, oh my God, everybody needs to know about this, right? You're trying to like shove it in their face, and then you're getting, hit on social medias, or it's too soon for people. So we understand better than anyone, Anons, about this timeline thing. Yes, it can get frustrating, but anyone that's been way from the OG days, and this could be even years prior to Q came out, there was talk of like Jonathan Petrie, our friend, stuff like there was talk about mass arrests since like 2012 and other things like that too. So people are in that movement, and people have been awake to all the corruption for years and years. Shout out to old OG Anons like Bill Binney from the NSA and NASA Naval Intelligence. What's his name? Bill Cooper. Bill Cooper. Thank you. Jordan Clark, or wait, what's his name? No, I'm missing some names. Put in some names in the chat. So OG Anons maybe that have helped y'all wake up as well too. But anyways, I got a little off track there. So 1 year on, then Tim says, let's start reading these Q drops every single day. But Tim always had this saying after, especially we had our own channel, and he was kind of mentioning right here why we started this. Feel, felt, found, Tim always said. And I think I'm curious. I wanted to ask you, Tim, I found this graphic recently, and I'm like, did you make this, Tim? Because there's no Qschqql on it, but it's like you'll know either way. And then it's like let me just go the graphic here. I posted on my cover story there. Jordan Maxwell, thank you, Jay Rosemary, appreciate that. So here's the cover photo I got up for Qschqql. This the other way is right here, and this sounds just so much like Tim. I'm even gonna have Tim read. All right, Tim, do you recognize? Because you'll see the very end too. Good versus evil. It's with the Qs. There's no. I feel like we made this during the pup project, but if not, somebody heard you saying it and took your words, because like when I see these words, this is you, Timbo. I don't know if you can read it. It's kind of small. I can zoom in, but you want to read this?
Yeah, that's I still have it in my my old papers. My old notes are in a filing cabinet to my left. I'd have to dig them up, but yeah, this is my word for word what I used to end Qschqls with back in the early days. I came up with this myself. I wrote it out. I played around with it for a day or two or whatever, but I I finally got it down to almost like a poem setting where I ended up memorizing it, so I could repeat it at the end of each Qschql. But basically, it was the Q Team Promise, or the Qschql. I wanted to call it our Qschql Promise to everybody. It was, after today, your life will be changed forever, because once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. Once you feel it, you can't unfeel it. As of today, you are now and always will be a soldier. fighting against evil and corruption, a digital soldier, a spiritual soldier. So march on, soldier, march on. And we used to play that song. Our opening song was I Am a Soldier. Maybe we could play a little clip.
Yeah, we could play a little clip of that. And then there's one where I scrolled down, then Tim always said that they'll keep fighting, keep uniting, and keep inviting others to this battlefield of good versus evil. Because why, Timbo?
Because nothing can stop what is coming, and where we go one, we go all.
We go all. Yes. 2:18, by the way. Where we go one, we go all. So beautiful part of this journey. And then Tim putting the cues on there as well. Ooh, I wish I remembered that. I made some cues that the one work too, putting those in the cue pluses. And Tim would be doing all the cues at work, and I never even thought about it. It was just brilliant. And he's like, people ask, like, what's the cue about? So he opened the door to those situations. So it's just beautiful. We've made all kinds of stuff like that. Now a lot of other anons all do the cue stuff too. And really, I mean, we did sometimes, but Tim was really one that pioneered that. We've also got some other pioneered stuff from our digs and stuff, especially reading the map. And shout out to Susan Calloway. Can't wait to share the graphic that she built for us for reading the map. Tim, we're already at 44. There could be more. I haven't talked to any anons in a couple of days. We got at least 44 of the 17 terms that we've dug up on. So I'm going to bring that graphic up. I might have to get it from my phone to the computer.
Also, we blew past 43. That's interesting.
We passed 43. It even seems faster, like we might go over 51. So we'll see what happens. Either our intuition's been really spot on or there's more than I thought. We'll see what happens. 5 years sounds unreal. And that's just with the show, you know what I mean? So again, we were kind of just, let's go back to the timeline too. Everyone has a different awakening journey. So Tim was, even again, self-proclaimed. I think, did you mention that, Tim, about being the self-proclaimed Karen? Maybe kind of avoided that, or not avoided that. It wasn't relevant to the way you were discussing, but it's important where we were in different parts of the journey as well too. But March 17th, but then 5 years on to actually have a show, right? An actual, doing the show like Qschqql, teaching it, like that's crazy in itself too, because there was all this other, you were a full year into the Q drops as well. So anybody doesn't know this, let's get into the next part of the timeline then. So then I guess we'll add Mel. We'll do it kind of the order it came, because Tim was the original creator, right? Is the original creator of Qschqql. It was under another channel. He said, why don't we just start reading the Q drops every day? And again, right away, people kind of shun it. Like, do you have any idea how long that's going to take? And we always said, like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And that's really how the Q drops are too. They're at like such a depth and complexity, and people that are in this journey with us understand.
Well, it's interesting because we knew right away that we were onto something, because even Jeff and Shannon got excited about it, because they had their daily show, and they had a large audience on their live shows, and then the chat would have its regular crowd shuffling in, as the song says, right? The regular crowd shuffling in. And so back then when I started, I was going 7 nights a week at 7 o'clock, 7 to 9. I had a 2-hour window, 2-hour slot. So, I mean, I was putting a lot of time, and I met Kyle just shortly after that, and Mermaid Q and several others along the way, Buffalo 17, many that really stand out to me that really got involved in the very early stages of reading these Q drops. Now, you got to understand, we're on Telegram on a voice channel, but there was no video, there was no screen. So basically you could hear my voice, and you could hear the voices of others as they were unmuted by the administrators of their channel. But I built my own Telegram channel just so I could put the Q drops in order that I wanted to bring them on that particular day, right? So let's say day one, and I listed off the first 17 Q drops, for example. They would be in my channel. My channel then was called Tim 17. It wasn't even called Qschqql when I started. It was called Tim 17, and shortly after that, I just changed the title to Qschqql. But that was my original Telegram channel. So what I would do is, when I went live on their Telegram channel, I would bring one drop in at a time and just share it from my Telegram channel, Tim 17 channel, right into their chat channel. So everybody that was coming into the show would see it posted on the wall. And I would, of course, I would ask everybody else to open up their own Q egg or Q alerts at that time on their own device, so that they could read along, follow along the Q drops. Because what happened was a lot of these Q posts that I was posting, as we would try to read them, and we'd all take turns reading them, which was really a unique thing about Qschqql. It wasn't just me reading Q drop. At first it was, but I kept saying, hey guys, gals, like, help me out here. Who wants to read a Q drop with me, right? I don't want to read all these suckers. We can all do. So people started piping in saying, I'll read one. So everybody kind of took turns. And then we discussed them for, a few minutes at a time, maybe 5-10 minutes. Some of them we would go on for a while. And because certain anons and certain people, patriots, would have, some exclusive information in regards to that particular Q drop, and we would bring that into the show and we would discuss it and share it with others. So the Q drop would get lost in the shuffle, because everybody's starting to post all this stuff, right? Like their channel was really a busy Telegram channel.
Yeah, super busy, especially during the shows. It was
so I'd have to keep bringing the Q drop back in if we were. I'd have to keep reposting it, but that's kind of how we did it. Like we just flew off the seat of our pants, which is what we do even 5 years have gone by. We still fly by the seat of our pants. But so that's what we kind of did. So it was all done on voice. No video, no recordings. Unfortunately, I wish we could have had some of that stuff recorded, but it's all here recorded in my mind and memory. And of course, Kyle and Melzie and others that were involved too can almost remember like it was yesterday what we were talking about. And it was really exciting. Now, one thing that happened was we knew we were doing something right, even though we kind of didn't know what we were doing other than just rereading Q drops. Was their channel would have, let's say, for example, they'd have like 20 to 30 people on a regular basis that would come and go during the day as they had their certain talks and laughs and giggles and songs. And it was a regular occurrence where you just go in and talk about life and get to know each other better. But then when Qschqql came on at 7 o'clock, their channel would explode. Like there were all these people starting to come in. Immediately, yeah. Like after the first week, maybe 2 weeks, the word got out that the MG show's doing something different in the evening, because they had their daytime show on YouTube, and it was a huge success and still is. They still go through the Q drops and a lot of things, but on their Telegram channel, the Qschqql was the place to be, the time and the place to be, and there would be like in excess of 100 people during our Qschqql, and it, like you could just and Jeff and Shannon would go, holy shit, Tim! Like I don't know what you did here, but we're getting all these new people coming in, and they're all participating and joining their channel and introducing themselves and stuff like that. So it was really exciting times. It was, we didn't really know. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, other than I was excited that I was learning something new every single evening. It was nonstop learning, and it kind of was a good distraction to get away from those dark feelings and all the frustration and the confusion and of the time that we were all going through. But man, it really like I said, it's changed my life, and it's changed many people, hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of people's lives, just simply by reading the Q drops, Kyle and Melzie. And that's how we got started 1 year in, so 1 year, we do that for a full year. And near the end of the first year, we had a couple of their admins that would, because the sharing the screen feature became an option on Telegram. Remember when that Telegram was upping their game a little bit for us? So all of a sudden now we could share the screen. Well, that means we could show the Q drop right on the screen instead of putting it in their channel. Yeah, and people could see it as we're reading it. And then so we had a couple of their admins that would start helping us share the screen and stuff, because we weren't admins, we were just guests of their channel. So that was kind of, it was exciting. It's like, holy shit, we can share the screen now. Are you kidding? We can, it was the evolution of what we went through was just incredible. But then there came a time where I guess the MG show, I don't know, because we were becoming so successful in a very kind way, but we had a private skiff meeting with the owners of their channel and their administrators. There's about 17 of us in there. And they invited me in, and we talked for about 17 minutes. And they basically said, you know what, Tim, we think it's time for you and Kyle and the rest of the Qschqql team to go out on your own, start building your own platform. And we thank all the efforts and all the time and everything that you've done. It was pretty much almost to the day, a full year, when we had that. It was the day before my 1 year anniversary. And I didn't know it at the time. I just knew that oh my God, now we're going to go on our own. The MG show's they're doing something else with their Telegram channel. So now I got to get a hold of Kyle and figure this out. Like, what are we going to do now? We don't have the MG show platform anymore. We got to go on our own, I guess. So I called Kyle. I let him know. I texted him, DM'd him and everything. And he goes, "You're kidding." I said, "No, I'm not kidding. I just got off the skiff meeting. And basically, we're birds out of the nest, man. I mean, we're on our own. So what do you want to do?" He says, "Okay, let's go." And you can start filling in the gaps from there. And then I think it was the next day, because we were still kind of excited, confused and excited, because I wasn't sure what they were up to. Why would they just all of a sudden say, it's time for you to go? We're doing something different, but we wish you luck and all that stuff, which is cool, so we move on. But then I went into my like Kyle and I were saying, well, we're going to keep reading Q drops. That's what we're going to do. But we're going to do it on our own channels. And he had a Telegram channel. I had a Telegram channel. It was already called Qschqql now by them. And he had, what was your channel called back then, Kyle?
Well, and so and that's kind of how that went too with so Tim was at 7 days for a while, and then it got cut back to 3 days, multiple things. And that's a lot of work and stuff too. But there was a lot of admins on their channel, and like, we were just like raging on trying to get this done. Cause by that we were still going from post 1 to the very end. And like I said, I had happened to just come
in 1 year. And sorry, Kyle, in 1 year, I think we figured we blew through at least 16 to 18, probably 1,700, give or take.
1,700 for sure, probably in that first year. So it probably would have taken 3 solid years, and here we are 5 years on, and we've also had a couple different pauses in the Q drops, getting some strong comms that Q is going to come back at some point, guys. So that'll be exciting. Again, we're not going to need it so much, but it's going to be wild, especially if we're live. We can also show that too, because we started our own channel prior to Q coming back, and we were live about to start. Not sure what we were like Friday night. Again, we had our own channel, so we didn't have to start right on time. We are kind of like hanging out in the chat, and Q posts again, and the miracles that happened from that whole journey too. So it's pretty wild to take that all.
So let me add this then. So the night of the skiff meeting with the MG show and their admins was February 22nd of 2022. Okay. So we went a full year less a day with the MG show. And then on the 23rd, which is the anniversary of today, which is now our 5th anniversary, sometime during that day, and Kyle, we were excited because I think we went live that night on the 22nd, right, Kyle?
After that, after, and then
we started officially on the 23rd, and we've got a clip. I think Kyle's dug up we're going to show a couple of clips of that show where we're celebrating our 1st anniversary, and now the birds are out of the nest. But that day, what I did is I went into my Telegram account because I was kind of curious. I said, when did I actually start this shit? Like exactly to the day. So I scrolled, kept scrolling.
For a long time.
A long time, yeah, because I had all these Q drops. Not only the Q drops, but I was adding in all of that fresh information from all the diggers from that year past, right? Yeah. So Buffalo 17 stuff, Mermaid, everybody that was adding stuff to the quality of the information, or the sauce we call it, I was adding that into the channel. So I had to keep scrolling to get to the very top when I started. And the very first post on Tim 17 channel, which is now Qschqql channel, was February 23rd of 2021.
February 23rd. We're going to show you these connections. So again, like this whole connection that we get kicked off January the 8th, right? And then we get on Telegram, figuring that stuff out. Not to get into my story so much, but I was in a channel I really, really enjoyed, but there was an infiltration, and I called it out and got the whole channel shut down. Guy was NSA. Anyways, it was crazy. So I wind up going over to, I'd already been following them. Just I knew them through the Q movement, and myself too. I found the Q drops from Jordan Sather in about November. I'm pretty sure November of 2017. I wasn't on the channels by any means, so I wasn't able to navigate that. We had to go through third-party apps then we'll come full circle too with like Mel joining us and stuff too. But so I knew the Q drops really well, but I was kind of learning, and I've always been a teacher and was learning the Q drops. So then I go over that show after getting kicked out of this other channel, was like all bummed and stuff, and like got in there, and within 1 minute, probably 1:07, Tim starts doing his intro. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna read Q drops, this is crazy, So I had that idea like a year prior to maybe do something like that on a Zoom call with other diggers and anons, and it wasn't until Telegram voice chat with this opportunity to share and dig together did it like come to fruition. So it's this beautiful journey. And then I made the Qschqql mirror because Tim got cut down to 3 days a week. I mean, this was a mission. Like we felt like this was our duty. So we were doing it 7 days a week. And start at 7 and ended hard at 9. I think we did a good job by doing it that way. But, anyways, it got cut to 3 days. So I made Qschqql mirror. And I was like, well, I always felt like the post or the end was the beginning and the beginning was the end. So I always said they could be read backwards. So I did Qschqql mirror, and we started doing a show every other day that we weren't doing it on the MG show, the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. We were on the Qschqql mirror doing the Q drop still. So it was crazy. But I didn't have the admins or the resources. And sometimes, one day, that's again, before we were still sharing screen, we did a dig one time where and we went like 6 hours because we didn't have the 2-hour time limit. And it was like, or I kind of ruined the joke, but Mermaid like comes on, she's like, so we've been going about 6 hours now. And it's like, yeah. And she's like, well, I got to feed the dogs. And she got like 5 dogs. Like, oh, go ahead and head on if you need it. Like, we're like a team of 8 people digging on the Jacob's Ladder painting and all the like the SRA satanic stuff and the Epstein. You name it. We were on that shit, for hours on end. So anyways, didn't have the time. So Tim finally said, why don't you just partner up full time with me? I was always pretty much part of the show, but then to actually be co-hosts, and because we just jibed so well together anyways, we were rocking and rolling. And then again, we kind of started ascending so much, we needed to have our own space. And it was still a weird kind of gut punch though, because it was like, whoa, wait a minute. But it was like, obviously the best thing to happen for us. So we'll try to play some of the clips from that too. We're so excited and pumped, but like Tim said, we kind of did an unofficial recording. I know the one night we did the 2-hour regular one. Then we did immediately, because I got my laptop. I think that was the 18th. That we did another 2-hour recording. Then Tim and I talked for like 2 more hours on the phone. And then we did another recording the next day or something. And then it was like off and running. And we went right back to 7 days a week then, but on our own channel. So we had to navigate all that kind of stuff. But like Tim said, but Tim also said, because now it was our second iteration of Qschqql, because we weren't under this other channel, we could share screen. And now it was like, I could share the screen fully, and it was our own Qschqql channel. So, and Tim scrolls back, and it's like, again, the meeting was the 2/22, yep. And then the next day is 2/23, our official start day. And Tim calls it phase 2 on his own. Tim called it phase 2 before we knew any of these connections yet. And this is how wild this whole journey's been. So that's where, again, Tim scrolls back and sees, sure enough, it's February 23rd as he started Qschqql in 2021. We had no idea. We checked that. So it's literally this double anniversary, yes. And he calls it phase 2. So now I'm going to have the Q drop. The screen started lagging. I'll hop out for just 1 second, come right back. Hang on.
Yeah, so I think he takes out my sound when he does that, and Tim just jumped out.
All right, there we go. Testing all the things before we get crazy here. All right, okay, now the Q drop. So 2/23, there you go, military in full control. And I'm gonna go to Q alerts on this one. I don't know how we came across it, but this is just go straight to this Q post. And there's other connections with this as we've gone over the years. But it's Q post 8/19 on February 23rd. So the Qschqql double anniversary it is. This one's from 2018, 6:54:10. That would be 18:54 in military time. So let me show that on QAG here real quick. Go this one here. Q drop 8/19. Actually, I'll do them all right here. 2/23 and 3/22. But here's 8/19. Is from 1854, so that's also 9/5, and even some 5/5 because 4 and 1, so 9/5/5 in there. 5:15 on the reply, and the anon he's posting from it's Q's board 2 days prior, so February 21st, so 2/21. Q posted, "Stay tuned. everything has meaning or a purpose. At Jack getting nervous. Phase 2 Q. Now this whole graphic is shared by an anon, okay? And then Q decided to reply to this anon who put this whole graphic together. So think about all these things you're about to see. Okay. Also, too, I didn't even notice this very top part. Everything has meaning. Why is this little in here? It says we create a web and allow contributions in some non-chaotic way. That's really what Qschqql is too, Tim. I've never read that top part. We do Qschqql, people would be dropping. And that was, again, the benefit to having our own channels. We could have focused digs, right? There wasn't all this nonsense getting dropped on the board.
Wow, I just read that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I never, it is so.
I mean, you said it early, but I just.
It didn't register. Yeah. Isn't that
Wow.
crazy? So it gets better to go, guys. So this is the Q post. And that was whatever the previous board, whoever posted that one right before Q on the chans. This is 8chan here. And then the anon shares this image that says asking the right questions. And it's got Q here with anons, and even says digging in the right place. And Tim named his board Diggers, or what was the original? It was something with digging, right?
Diggers. Yeah, it was Diggers. Yeah, Qschqql Diggers. Yeah, it was my. It's the offshoot channel that's connected to the original Qschqql channel.
Yep. So, anyways, I also posted that image, and then Mel used that background image here, Tim, for this cover photo for today's show, and I got that on my Facebook cover photo. There's no likes on this Facebook cover photos. Make sure you guys go and help hit like because they're really censoring us on Facebook. I don't know what the deal is. Plus, I'm triggering a lot of people over there. So make sure if you guys are watching, wherever, I'll make sure you hit like on the stuff and try to share them out. All the different channels, but especially Facebook. Thank you guys for that one. Okay, so back to the Q drop though. It gets better. So here the anon, again, the anon shared this image. This is from the Q board. This would have been right after Q posted. Some quote unquote anon happens to share this graphic that says digging in the right place, asking the right questions. Q anons, and diggers, and it's called Qschqql Diggers. Then here's the actual article from Zero Edge, and the anon, aka anon, shares all these imagery. 27%. Shout out JFK. Oops, 1140. That's 11.4. That's more Q stuff. Trump warns world of very, very unfortunate phase 2 if North Korea sanctions fails. And this was posted on February 23rd, also at 11:01 p.m. Remember that timestamp, okay? Yep. Very, very unfortunate phase 2 if North Korea sanctions fail. 11:01. And then is this still the anon? Oh my gosh, this is crazy because this is the anon. If you see the dark edge here, right? So the anon makes this reply, not Q, which is odd to me already. And it says phase 2, no coincidences. Q responds, no coincidences. Expand your thinking. Okay. So that's already crazy all itself. The phase 2, Tim had literally named it phase 2 without knowing. This is how we get quantumly connected to everything. Go ahead, Mel.
Yeah, without knowing on the date that Qschqql started, and this
double
is
anniversary,
like a delta on that date, right?
Yeah, divinely orchestrated is the only way. Divinely orchestrated.
Yes, divinely orchestrated.
Now check this one out. So here's the thing too. We our big thing we do, Tim, was show the symbolism, right? We helped highlight the deep state, the cabal. So Qschqql anniversary is 223. Get ready. You're going to love all this one, guys. So 223 is the date of the Qschqql anniversary. So let's show Q drop 223. It's on 1123 123 ABC 1123 2017. Look at the timestamps in here too. 1 2 3 4 in there again. 1 2 23 12 46. But who is Betsy D? That's Betsy DeVos, and she was the Secretary of Education of the Department of Education. She was in charge of the Department of Education, and Qschqql is on 223. And the Department of Education, it's going to get funner. I'm going to keep going more.
That was 23. So look at the timestamp 23. That's 1 plus 2 is 3. So it's 332 reversed.
332 again is mixed in there. Okay. So watch this, Tim, now. And then we're going to do mirror.
It says expand your thinking, though, at the bottom of that one.
It does. It does. I forgot that. Thank you, Tim. Oh, my gosh. Check that out, guys. If fucking, excuse the language, 223 has expand your thinking in it also. The other one was from a delta on that day, guys. It's not even, it's 223 the date. And it ended with Q saying it right there at the bottom. No coincidences, expand your thinking. Mel just got hit with a Project Looking Glass confirmation right there. My spine just lit up to agree with that one there, right? It gets better though. Let me keep doing this decode. Okay. So Betsy DeVos, and now we get expand your thinking in there. Thank you, Tim, for catching that. And this is what it is too as a team. We guys, it's an open source intelligence team when we have multiple people that could share. And I really want to try to bring it back somehow with being able to use multiple platforms. And it's just the timing hasn't been there yet, but it's coming. Okay. So check this out. Now, Qjob 322, Tim, you probably haven't seen this one. The mirror, skull and bones too. So we mirror the evil to defeat them. I've said that forever. Qschqql's anniversary is 223. The mirror is 322, skull and bones. And I believe that's from a biblical passage. Where does 322 get their name from? You know, any diggers want to put that in there? Of course, they have Geronimo's bones, or they did, and Geronimo's in the Qjob 144. Check this out, though, Tim. And thank you, Mr. Smith, for being able to have the math in here for us on QAG to turn on that stuff. Make sure you go to digging options. On digging option, it does the timestamps for you. Check it out. Do you see that already too?
I saw it already, and I saw the timestamp has our 223 in the timestamp.
Yes, it's got both of them. I got chills here. So between 223 and 322 is 15 days, 23 hours, 22 minutes, 2 seconds. We did our special on 222, but it was 2023 was when we started Qschqql on 223. And then here's the timestamp: 22 hours, 34 minutes. Oh, I'm getting chills everywhere because it gets even better. So 223 is right there. But why 4 relevant, Tim?
Q clearance Patriot, Q drop 34.
What about Q drop 4 or what about 48? Why is that important?
Negative 48.
Negative 48. I'm going to go one more for you guys. Get your minds blown here. One more time. We're going to expand it further. We're going to do 34 and 48 because there's something significantly about each one of them. And it's right here, 34 and 48, which is in the 223 timestamp there with the Qjob right here. Q clearance Patriot is 34. Also, Qjob 48 is what is Q clearance? But guess what? What hint does that explicitly refer to? DOE can also be the Department of Energy, Education. Can't believe this is crazy, right? All right, so let's go farther. Here's Trump. Listen, watch this. Remember the timestamp? Why does Barack Obama's ring have an Arabic encryption on it? Who is this guy? Timestamp is at 111, October 11th. That 111 was from the original. This one right here is at 111 from Trump's tweet on February 23rd is at 11:01 p.m. The very, very unfortunate phase 2 is, at least this article from Zero Hedge, is at 11:01, and then Qjob 322, this tweet about Barack Obama is at 1:11 p.m., but October 11 would be the mirror of 11:01 with the time, the date.
Oh, wow.
And then remember, we've done this analogy quite a bit too, Tim. Q says, 4th quarter Patriots, we fight together, Q.
Nice.
We're 4th quarter Patriots.
4th quarter, finally,
VIP
let's see,
Patriots
hopefully. Pretty wild, huh, brother?
That is, and of course, every time we go over this, we learn something new, right? Because we like back then, we were so excited to hit, not only to hit the Delta with the phase 2, because that's what I called it. And then because I found out earlier that day by scrolling all the way up that it was February 23rd was actually the first time I ever posted on Telegram. And here we are exactly 1 year to that date, starting year 2. Phase 2, I called it. And there it is. Kyle just showed you with the Q drops with today's Delta. And then to go outside of that with the 223 and the 322. And we've always said that, think mirrors, Q says, that we're the good versus the evil, right? The skull and bones. So just incredible, man. I'm just getting all kinds of Q.
It was 3:22 Eastern time when we were just covering all that, Tim. And thank you, Aaron. Thank you for popping over on the Facebook, by the way, too. I was looking for you over on Facebook. Make sure you follow me or send me a message there, Aaron. Thank you, though, for popping over on Facebook. Did you see that, though, Tim? We just went past 3:22 Eastern time. And it's 323 or 223 in some places.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
223. Wild, right? Let's see. Brittany said, Telegram was where the rabbit hole started for me. I wasn't familiar as much with Qschqql on Telegram then. Qschqql really started for me on Rumble, even though most of my awakening was on Telegram. Thank you for sharing that, Brittany. Brittany I'm curious what year you got on Telegram, because that was probably when, I kind of stepped away and Tim carried the charge by doing Qschqql TV and then also Patriot Unification Project also. Maybe on the timeline we can share, Mel, you kind of where you came in too, because Mel found us almost, if not the first day. And speaking of which, I think it might be you, Dustin, if you're watching still. She was trying to figure out who told her, but Mel found us one of the first days when we started our own channel, Tim. We may have crossed paths somewhere else along the line, but she definitely found us when we had our own channel. And then what about with your journey? Where did you find Q first? Mel's been awake for a long, long time, but where did you find Q? And then how'd you?
Well, I've been awake for a long time. So, my awakening, I lived in Venezuela, and my best friend had married an ambassador's son. And so someone one time told me about the Illuminati that was like in his world. So
years and years
ago. And so my awakening happened many years, and I started 9/11 for me. I knew like the story wasn't right again, just the same with COVID. So I started looking for answers, and me and my ex-husband really had an awakening together, and we tried to awaken others around us, which didn't really go very well. Alex Jones was on a lot then, and so we would listen to that and learn new things and try and, do the digging just like everybody did.
So how'd you find Q, or when did you find Q specifically?
When COVID happened, I wanted to know what was going on. And so I went on to X, now Twitter, or, I went on to Twitter then, and I saw a different story, and somehow I found Q. I don't know where, but Q.
But not till 2020 then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was probably the fall of Cabal, I think, or that I watched. And then I was like, Trump, because I didn't understand who Trump was either. I didn't know if I liked him or not. I knew I didn't want Hillary in there, but I didn't understand the whole Q thing. But when I found Q, and I started to see the truths that they were exposing, because of all that basis of knowledge that I had, I knew that they were telling the truth, and I had the secret plan to take down like the Cabal. It's kind of stupid and juvenile, but I thought that
her own plan, without the Q plan. This is what this artist was planning, is how to bring down the Cabal by myself. So many all out maybe be able to relate.
So when I found I could team up with others that had the same mission, I was really excited, and I also saw people awakening, and so I spent a lot of time answering questions. And I had a big channel on Twitter, and that was taken out, and I came over to Telegram, and Jonathan was in one of my channels, so I knew Jonathan, but I think it might have been Dustin. Someone sent me a link and said, you need to check these guys out.
I know Dustin sent a lot of people away early on. Thank you too, brother.
And they told me all about you guys, and I was like, whoa, okay. So I listened. I was so excited because it was like I was able to learn, and understand some of the things that were going on, and we could ask questions and, get answers and kind of work it out together instead of just trying to, there's so much misdirection, like the Q posts mean this, and, they mean this, and you don't know. So that really excited me, and I just became, a follower, and I'd join and listen, and I'd stay up at night and listen to Scott too, and, it just became part of the Q family. And then through the Pup Project, that's really where I think that it opened up more unity, even though a lot of times it felt like we were in division. We really started to meet each other and go into other channels and fellowship with each other and kind of awaken to different things too that we were all discovering that were beyond the Q posts. That's kind of like the Q posts were there to kind of help us to, there's a lot in there, but it doesn't go too deep into any rabbit holes. And, you can get lost in rabbit holes. And this, helped us all. It was kind of like we had to work together because we didn't have anybody else. and that was the beauty of it. So Q really brought us together, but mostly really Qschqql did. And Tim, you've just done so much for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, sister, thank you. And you as well. I mean, we're all, we're all in this together. No one's above the other, and that's the one of the key lessons that I learned through this is, being unified and building these friendships is way more important than anything else right now, other than your own families and your love for your family, obviously. But I mean, look at what we've accomplished. Like, we were not supposed to all be here. The deep state, the globalist psychopaths had a plan to wipe us all out, like to get rid of us all once and for good, but here we are, and I mean, and I've always said, we're just one of the battalions of the whole battlefield, like Qschqql is like that speck of sand on the whole beach. If you look at the Anons, like there's hundreds of millions of Anons and digital soldiers and truth warriors all throughout the world. And they're all fighting the fight. They're all, and of course, some go this way, some go that way, and it can get quite distracting and quite confusing at times. But I've always said to Kyle and Melzie, and it's so true, if we somehow stay grounded to the Q drops, to the Q Intel board, you can't be steered away too easily. It takes a lot to take an Anon from a mission of getting to the, getting the facts, getting the sauce, and providing that information and tying it to the Q board and the news that unlocks the map and the future proofs past and all that stuff. It takes a lot to drag an Anon away from that kind of battlefield. And that's why it's been life altering, life changing, not only thinking logically, the emotions are still there. We're all emotional beings. And a lot of times we pour our hearts out a lot on the Telegram channels. And that's where these friendships have, like what Melzie was talking about. And like Melzie just, having a little bit of tear there. We've all cried, we've all laughed, we've all sang, we danced, we've joked, we've sworn, we've prayed, we've done it all. And we continue doing that. And that's part of our journey. And that's part of, reconnecting with humanity and these friendships, man, they're for the rest of our lives. We will never, ever, ever forget the times that we came across each other's paths. And that's for everybody that's connected to everybody here in this movement. But going back to the Q Intel board and why I believe Qschqql is really special is because it kept a lot of us grounded and it kept us excited to learn more, right? Melzie, like you said, the Q drop is basically like scratching the surface, but just by reading one Q drop, you can spend definitely hours and hours and hours on every single Q drop by going out and doing your research and digging on what did Q actually ask us? What direction do we need to go with this? And with the help of the community and everybody working together, that's how we all came together and started forming these friendships. And it's also very spiritually, like to me, I became very spiritual in this movement too, thanks to the Q Intel, because I was never a churchgoer. I never had a Bible, any of that, and not that I didn't believe that there was a God and all that, but I really learned quickly that this is more spiritual than I had ever imagined, and that I do believe for probably, I knew there was always bad in the world or evil, but not to the degree that we have figured this out. And these people are evil. They are, they're sick. These people are sick, as Q says. And that's a tough thing to go through too in this movement. But the Q drops really helped us stay within our mission and our logical thinking and not losing our minds and not ending up in a white room, rubber padded walls, that kind of. That's why I asked Melzie, you want to do this another 5 years? And she had that. I don't know if I can do this another 5 years. But you know what? We're built and designed. We're built and designed for it all. We're ready for anything that they throw at us. And the Anons and the digital soldiers around the world have proven that, because it used to take like weeks to break up their narrative. It now takes like 6 seconds to bust the false narratives that are coming from the corrupt media, right? The controlled media that always try to twist and turn the media and stuff. And the Anons, we won't take it anymore, right? As hence that one Q drop, which was one of our last Q drops before the new batch of Q drops came out in 2022. We're not going to take it anymore. You know, the Twisted Sister song, and that's what's really cool about the journey that we've been on here in Qschqql, and the things that we've learned, and the value of life, and that we have to have faith in humanity, and we have to love each other, and we have to pray for each other, and we have to unite with as many patriots around the world as we humanly can in the time that we're here, because it's the strength of the unification of all of us that's going to get us through this.
100%.
Absolutely, man. That's what it's all about. I think that's like we should write out an actual mission statement for Qschqql, but it's always been, I mean, and what Tim said, you know, like fighting, uniting, and inviting people to the battlefield, and, you know, connecting with other people, but also having this community is what Hold the Line is all about, because it's just relentless attacks 24/7, just like POTUS has had to endure. Every freaking all assets deployed from every avenue you can imagine. If you were a cutting edge person on health, you were attacked, if not killed, because if you had disrupted the industry of big pharma, or disrupted the industry of this or that, you stirred the pot too soon, too fast. A lot of people lost their life, but we've been here through all this. But, you know, hopefully that gives you, I mean, every battle's different, but you know what I mean? Like we've been attacked, ridiculed. Our friend Adriana, she's had to have 3 presidential pardons over the years. Our child taken away from her. Shout out to Adriana too, beautiful patriot. Getting a chance to see her son too. Operation Restoration. Check that over on Telegram too. Hopefully they do some other marketing with that too. Operation Restoration. Yeah. Anyway, shout out to all of our beautiful digital soldiers.
But
she's gonna get to see.
Just gonna be
Elijah.
able to see Elijah.
Oh, beautiful. I didn't know that.
Getting to see her child, y'all seen that whole saga going on, had her child taken from her, basically CPS and all the other nonsense that goes along with that. And she was at, you know, January 6th also, and again has been attacked by the media, and they try to spread that and maliciously attack her character to take her child away, because heaven forbid if she stood up for freedom, wanted to make her patriotic voice heard peacefully, they're going to use that against her, you know, in different ways. So it's just this crazy saga, but justice is being restored. We've asked for accountability and justice for 2026. It's coming, folks. We're starting to see it. The very fact that this Epstein stuff is revealed, yeah, there's a lot of circus. Yeah, there's some redactions. Yeah, what's going on with Patel and Bondi and all these characters on the stage, but everyone's talking about it, guys. That's got to be a good thing. Right? We look back where we were 5 years ago. We're yelling on the rooftop in a small neighborhood, you know. Now it's going around the world. It's reverberating. The 100th monkey effect is real too. The more our consciousness wakes up, the more we wake up with others. We're getting connected. That also means other people can wake up faster and more quickly too. So keep holding space. They're going to come around. These other events are going to happen. The more grounded and calm you are, the more people are going to seek you out for guidance. And that's why we just keep smiling and having fun through this, because it's a wild journey. We cry and we have tears and all the craziness, and we get angry sometimes, but also we work through all that. And that's really what also Telegram has helped over the years, is working through our emotions and triggering each other and raising our consciousness to be prepared for this event. And this is what all this has been for too, over all these years. You know, this grounded foundation, and we couldn't do it alone. So thank you guys for picking us up. Thank you all the digital soldiers carrying on out there, the sword. Thank you, Tim, personally, and MelzieKaye, when I had to step away and, you know, almost lost my life. We lost -48. We've lost Brad. We've lost Yig. We've lost many digital soldiers, Scotty Marr, patriots in the movement as well. Send them love and blessings. This is a marathon. It's for all the marbles. This spiritual war, World War III. It's for the soul of everyone. It's good versus evil, and I wouldn't want to be on the ride with anybody else either. So I appreciate all you guys. You guys are some badass warriors. I have two beautiful family here, but also you out there, all the other Anons we've mentioned, Adam Charles Brand, Jay Rosemary, all you beautiful friends, Sunny, all of our Telegram people. Love you guys. White Knight plus. We've already been mentioned. I don't want to miss anybody. Y'all know the deal. We love you guys.
Amen. Well said. Yeah.
So I was looking for the original. I don't have it, so let's go backwards. I want to take a short break. We're gonna we're gonna highlight some of our stuff. We're gonna go to Qschqql 5.0, and we started doing the daytime show. This more recently. Again, we had the Patriot Unification Project. We've had different, so I don't know, we called it 5.0. And this one was really fun. Little background. I'll maybe pause it just to show you guys right before. But this one, there's something really special about it. We've had all kinds of comms like this, and anyways, this is when Trump was meeting Putin in Alaska. I wish I I could maybe even find the times too where we predicted the location. I predicted it twice prior to it being reported in the news. Remember that, Tim? He called me out, and then Tim said it's going to happen on Qschqql. So I predict the location, and Tim predicts the timestamp. If that's, you know, when you do a launch a missile warhead, you have to turn 2 keys at the same time. Interesting. Tim says, "Here we go." Then I say, "Here we go," and Trump starts a salute randomly on the red carpet. And y'all, you might not understand what's happening there, but the B-2 bomber flies over Trump and Putin at 11:11 a local time. I'm only a couple miles away, and it flies directly over me too, and even reverberates on the microphone too. So, but y'all see some of your old chats in there too. If you guys see it, this will play for about like 4 or 5 minutes. We'll play this for a second, and we'll come right back. We'll celebrate this little Qschqql moment, y'all.
Let's do it.
History books, baby.
Do it, Q.
We can see them a little better, and
okay.
I think I can also. What was the time? What's our time at on there?
We are 3. Oh, what's it say on the screen? I can't see it.
It's an 8 after. Matt's excited.
Okay, turn the volume up. Let's hear what they got to say.
Oh yeah, I don't have the volume.
Here we go, guys.
Comes Putin out. I don't know what time it is in Russia.
Here comes the bear. We got the boss and the bear.
The boss and the bear. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Oh man, I got chills, you guys. I got chills. This is crazy. Oof. Red carpets. Let's go. Like, this is gangsta style, brother. I mean, you can't get any better than this.
Right?
Oh my God. That's right, Matthew. Oh, what a beautiful time to be alive, son. Matthew's really enjoying this moment. I think he's enjoying it more than you and I, Kyle.
Right? He is. He knows what it means. He knows what it means.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is so cool.
Got the briefcase.
Yeah. That's right. History books, Highlander. Amen for that. Hey, Matthew, look at the boss and the bear. The boss and the bear. The boss and the bear. That could be the B-2 bomber too. BB, the boss and the bear.
Oh, boss and the bear. Nice one. Definitely a size discrepancy. I don't know if it's always been like that. With Diggers, what's I'm going to pause it here for just a second. This is the 2026 version here. Check it out. Tim says, "Here we go." Then I say, "Here we go." I think "Here we go" is 86. Simple gematria. Ooh, let's see what happens then. Watch. And then Tim says that reads the Q drop 140. The second the timestamp goes to 11:11. You see it on Eastern time right here. 3:10 Eastern time. When that's Alaska time is 4 hours ahead of Eastern time. So Alaska is at 11:10 Alaska time right now. That's where I'm at. And you'll see the second it goes to 11:11 Eastern, or 3:11 Eastern, which is 11:11 Alaska, is when Tim reads Q drop 140. Can't make this shit up, kids. What's Putin's height supposed to be? Yeah, Qschqql chills is right.
Yeah. Thanks, Jetty. Here we go.
Here we go. Not quite the same, but kind of reminds me of when Trump, was beating Kim Jong-un. Kind of a big deal.
Wow. And let me just familiarize with a Q drop that says, "What if China, Russia, and POTUS are working to eliminate the NWO?" Keep that in the back of your minds.
The jets flying by. Oh, I can hear the jets. Oh, I don't know. I got the noise cancellation on. You probably can't hear it. Here they come. Oh, we got a double flyover. Let's go. Just heard them on their screen, and then they just flew over the top of me. You guys hear that shit? I don't know if you could hear it.
Yes, yep.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna pause just for a second here. I want to show y'all something here. You guys see that? I'm gonna do the time step one more time. You guys see that? The second, Tim, isn't that the second you actually say Q drop? That he said, I want to remind everybody of a Q drop, and the second that Tim says Q, the second Tim says Q drop. Where do I go here? Second Tim says Q drop. It goes to 3:11. So check this out. I'll show it one more time here.
Let me just let me just familiarize with a Q drop that says, "What if China, Russia, and POTUS are working to eliminate the NWO?" Keep that in the back of your minds.
The jet's flying by. Oh, I can hear the jets. Oh, I don't know. I got the noise cancellation on. You probably can't hear it. Here they come. Oh, we got a double flyover. Let's go. Just heard them on their screen, and then they just flew over the top of me. You guys hear that shit? I don't know if you could hear it.
Yes, yep.
Oh my gosh. Boom, look at that there. History Books Highlander. Shout out from Qschqql Journeys. Highlander is one of our first admins ever, by the way. So shout out them, Highlander as well.
Amen.
All right, so let me show what else was I gonna show here?
Yeah, what a time that was. The timing of it and everything. I mean, the importance of that and the timing of it and how it matched the Q drop. You know, what if China, Russia, and others are coordinating with POTUS to eliminate the NWO?
And that's the drop the Kirill guy has posted as well too. Like Kirill Dmitria posted that. Man, there's so many other things here. I want to play a little short clip though. Give us a little break here for just a second. Do you have anything, Tim? Or
no, I was just thinking of the original "I Am a Soldier" song. We can play a little snippet of that. Yeah. We opened Qschqql for one straight year, and actually, I think we even used it in year 2 for a little while, and then I started rotating different opening songs to open our Qschqql lives. But that was the main one, "I Am a Soldier," by what's the group?
Unspoken.
Yeah, that's the one.
So you want me to try to play that?
Yeah, my favorite part is when the kids singing at school, right? I mean, and that's when, you know, we always used to yell and scream during that song, and that was the opening of the Qschqql, and you'd hear Matthew in the background. And,
oh, yes. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then I always started Qschqql with Matthew. He would have to say Q, and that's when we actually started. That's where we started the song. As soon as he said Q, it was on.
Yep, he started getting excited. That was my favorite part too, because I'd be getting ready in the background. Especially again, guys, like you know, we weren't on camera, we weren't sharing screens or nothing either in the very beginning too. So I could just sit back. I had my laptop up, and then we could be ready to dig. But we're kind of muted, so the songs come on, we'd be dancing. And I don't know, Tim, the way you did that. Tim actually has a history in radio as well too, but. The song would kind of go that slow, that quieter part. And, I can't remember what you said now. I just know it's like Tim would be saying, yeah, do it for the kids. And you hear Matthew, like you said, I was like, oh, man, it's a special moment in time. Ooh, that's something we could find too. That one that we did in Reno with my buddy from Reno with his autistic son. That was April 4th. Must have been 2022. So that's another one we'll have to revisit as well too. It's a really special one. And man, what a journey. It is so crazy.
It is. Yeah. It is. Yeah. Did you, while we're playing that, do you want me to dig up our 223 episode, or did you find that?
I was actually, I couldn't find it. I was having trouble and I wanted to listen to what you guys were saying. So if you can find it, we might get kicked off on Instagram only, I think. We'll come right back, or I'll just let the song play. It's our anthem right here. If something gets kicked off, I'll bring you guys back on. So just let me know if we get kicked off.
It's the OG anthem. The
OG song. And you know what's actually really cool to play if we actually can find that 2023 episode. I figured it out pretty quick. We'd be playing the song, but since we could start sharing screen, and we had a board, which is what I want to do now.
Right.
We had a board on Telegram, and everybody would post their little gifts while the song's going. So everybody's dancing. It was such a connection with our people and this is what I want to do. Right? Should be easier than it sounds, guys, but there's so many things in my mind. But to have this Telegram chat board, our people would put the different gifts and stuff, and the military men dancing or the funny stuff, the popcorn, and the songs going. We're like, yes, which we just need to make our own songs so we can play it all the time. But shout out to Unspoken. They're a really awesome band. Christian bass for those people that that, but it's just really solid music that's like moving. That's not, anyways, I like them. They're good. Let's play the song then. I'll just hit it. If we get kicked off, let us know. We'll do part 2. We'll do phase 2 of Qschqql. Very, very unfortunate phase 2 if we have to. Let's go. Here's the Qschqql anthem, the unofficial official. Here we go.
I may never bleed from a bullet, I may never march in the infantry, may never see the walls of a prison, held hostage by the hand of the enemy. But I'm a protector, defender, and fighter for the truth. And when my life's on the line, follow through. So no matter where, no matter when, no matter what, I am a soldier, and it's love that I'm fighting for. I am a soldier, and the battle belongs to the Lord. I'm marching on into the valley, marching on. I'm marching on, I am a soldier, marching on. I'm putting on a different kind of armor. The war isn't waged against flesh and blood. I'm taking up the sword of the Spirit until the day that the kingdom comes. I'm protector, defender, and fighter for the truth. And when my life's on the line, follow through. So no matter where, no matter when, no matter what, I am a soldier, and it's love that I'm fighting for. I am a soldier, and the battle belongs to the Lord. I'm marching on into the valley, marching on. I'm marching on, I am a soldier, marching on. To the wounded warrior, weary soul, keep holding the line and don't let go. Though the sweat runs down and the heart grows weak, we fight for the side with the victory.
Sing it, kids. Let's go.
I am a soldier, and it's love that I'm fighting for. I am a soldier, and the battle belongs to the Lord. I'm marching on into the valley, marching on. I'm marching on, I am a soldier, marching on.
Oh yeah, kids, that's the anthem we used to come out to. Thank you, Unspoken. That's a beautiful band there. They do some great work, so make sure y'all like it. That stuff, good. Man, that was a good one. I bet a lot of y'all haven't seen it. I don't think we got kicked off to me things. Let me check. Instagram's still going. Looks like it might be. Did you get a chance to find that episode, Tim?
I sent you the 2024, 2023 anniversary specials. I'm looking for the 2022 one, and
oh no, the 2022 one you already had in Diggers, but I'm talking about that. You got the 23 one. Where is it?
yeah, I DM'd you both of them.
Oh, DM.
So, yeah, the 2023 one, I think we had -48, right?
Yes.
2023.
Yep.
And 2024 one, I can't remember, but you'll see what I wrote underneath it. So the 2023 one, did I lose it?
Yeah, I can't find
The
it.
2022 one.
It's this one though. Open discussion Q JFK. What? That's weird right now. There's a Q plus that says curious. Previous was deleted. We're getting some interesting comments because let me show what I was finding. Oh, did I already gone? I was searching Qschqql. I found the video about Q's birthday, Tim, right? So Q's birthday is August 9th on Q on True Social. There's a Q post says we're returning publicly. That's a February 9th Delta. Anybody making these connections? Hitting you some big ones here. Q's birthday on True Social at Q, February 9th, 2022. 2 plus 9 plus 2 plus 2 is a 17. One day before Trump. Now the at Q account says the 10th, February 10th, Mel's birthday randomly. But anyways, wish them happy birthday this Friday. Where's our birthday episode?
Okay, so it says here, it says in the archives, I'll send it to you. It says February 24th recording, very first Qschqql recording under our own channel.
Okay, we could have went late night and it processed on the 24th. That's probably it.
Let me send this to you.
Especially Eastern time.
There. Okay, you've got them on your DMs if you want to show them, like bring them up and show everybody. Those are the 22, 23, and 24. And then did we do an anniversary in 25?
No, I don't think so. You know what I did though? I did my private teaching.
I was just streaming live Qschqql TV in 2025, right?
I think you took a break, Tim. I think you had taken a break. So then I did Mel's and I were starting to do restream a little bit. I was still in Reno and I actually did a cool 30-minute teaching of how to use the QAG board and some really cool stuff. And intimate setting. It was awesome though. I didn't get it back on restream because it got deleted off everything else now. Anyways, I carry on here. What's Aaron talking about? Thank you for all the comments on Facebook. Aaron, it does help. That does help. And then Sweet Jenna Rainbow, shout her out over on YouTube. She said, you guys didn't forget me. Of course not. And I respond back to Undercover Hat. Been in the middle of the move by birth. No worries. Thanks for being here. Talking about positive 49 still breaks. He's still nearby. He's always listening nearby. So, and then when we replay, it sure sounds like he's with us in the moment. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So yeah, some other guys too. Brenda, thank you for watching on Facebook. I think she said Aaron sent you. Thank you again, Aaron, sending it out. Thank you, Brenda, for commenting and stopping by. We appreciate that. Yeah, we're celebrating the journey with y'all. Okay, so what was I gonna do? We're gonna play some of the original, huh? Let's play that for a second. Oh, it's still loading up. Let's see. And then, Tim, that 222 episode was just 2 hours and 22 minutes, and it was like 32 or so. It was like, so the Qschqql numbers in there also. Yeah, I guess we'll go to this for a second, huh, Tim?
Yeah, so just based on our archive channel, which is the Qschqql archive channel on Telegram, folks, there's hundreds and hundreds of recordings. It looks like the last thing I posted in there was December 13th of 2024, and then there was nothing until May 25th, which was Welcome to Qschqql 4.0. So it looks like we came back in May. So we did take a little bit of a breather, and that's when I was running the Qschqql channel as a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week television channel, and I was just showing documentaries and daily shows and daily breaking news and stuff.
That's all part of the journey, though, too. And that's y'all. Why don't you put in the chats, guys, some of your favorite documentaries that helped you really awaken? We always talk about Fall of the Cabal. What's the one General Flynn also just brought up again too? With the actors, the guy talking from Hollywood, Liz Cronkin's in that one. I know Aaron's gonna know that one telepathically. You guys know what I'm talking about. Put that one in there too. Any other ones too? And did you message me again, Tim? What you got?
Yeah, well, I put that when we came back in May. Qschqql.
Oh, May. Okay, yeah. Because absolutely, May 17th. It was May 17th, Tim, and that's when we also did like the Q plus and then that's interesting. We did Q plus when we came back on the 17th. June 14th that year. Also, Trump was at the military base in Maryland. Why can't I get the names right now? And the EBS went off, or our alarm. Remember that, Tim? He was giving the speech in front of the troops. Fort Detrick? No, not Detrick. That's where COVID got made at. Whoops, I said too much. Among other places, including China, Ukraine. Okay, so let's play. Let's go to this for a second. Oh yeah, I'll show this stuff.
Yeah, play little bits and pieces of the previous years on our anniversaries, and then we'll try and fill in the gaps. There's
Okay, so and then here's you got the screenshot there. There we came back. That was cool. Oh, Mountain Mama's in there too. We've been wanting to get Mountain Mama on too. So hopefully Mountain Mama's around. Love, 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 Mountain Mama. Oh, then you got the Rumble link, yeah, from the show we did. And then I think this is the old school one. So let's check it out for a second.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks everyone for showing up tonight. We're gonna still play our little anthem to get started. Let me just show everybody. Let's do it. Let's do our chat here with this bottom one, the phase 2. So if you guys have any digs or anything to share, we'll just go ahead and start on this bottom one. How come the homepage doesn't have a chat? Yeah, that's just how we made the channel.
Okay, I'm gonna pause this and skip some. This is actually how we want to set this up, where we'd have a board here. I've been talking about that. I just got to figure out which way and make the time to do it. I guess I'm gonna skip ahead because we probably play the anthem here with the. But this was cool as we'd play the song. Here's the song. There's the music video. I guess I didn't play the music video for us. Sorry, guys. Here's the music video. I guess it made it through. Let's do one more for the road, huh? Let's see what happens.
We'll talk about getting Qschqql started here.
Can you feel it in the air tonight? Woo! Qschqql phase 2.
Did you tell him, Tim, about the date too? What was it on the? Was it a Q post even that says that?
Well, we'll talk about that right after this Digital Soldier anthem. Here we go, everybody. Welcome to the show. Enjoy the show.
I may never march in the infantry, may never see the walls of a prison, held hostage by the hand of the enemy. But I'm a protector, defender, and fighter for the truth. And when my life's on the line, follow through. So no matter when, no matter when, no matter what, I am a soldier. It is love that I'm fighting for. I am a soldier, and the battle belongs to the Lord. I'm marching on, I'm marching on, to the valley, marching on, I'm marching on, I'm marching on. I am a soldier, marching on, on a different kind of armor. The war isn't waged against flesh and blood. I'm taking up the sword of the Spirit until the day that the King comes. I'm protector, defender, and fighter for the truth. And when my life's on the line, follow through. So no matter when, no matter when, no matter what, I am a soldier. And it's love that I'm fighting for. I am a soldier, and the battle belongs to the Lord. I'm marching on, I'm marching on, to the valley, marching on, I'm marching on, I'm marching on. I am a soldier, marching on, wounded warrior, weary soul. Keep holding the line and don't let go. The sweat runs down and the heart grows weak. We fight for the sign of victory. I am a soldier. It is love that I'm fighting for. I am a soldier, and the battle belongs to the Lord. I'm marching on, I'm marching on, to the valley, marching on, I'm marching on, I'm marching on. I am a soldier, marching on.
Matthew, we're marching on. We're marching on. Whoa! Thanks, Kyle. Welcome to Qschqql, everybody. This is the inaugural first Qschqql phase 2. Welcome, everybody. Oh, my God, the chat's filling up beautifully. Thank you, digital soldiers from around the world. I'm Tim17, coming to you live with my son, Matthew, by my side from Canada, your northern brother up here. Welcome everybody to, oh boy, I'm so excited. I don't even know where to start, Kyle, but I'm going to start by, first of all, just thanking everybody.
Look at that. That wound up being Hammer Time. Hammer Time, Rapid Fire Q News' main patch, and we put it on the very first image of our Qschqql. Can you believe it, Timo? Just keeps going and going.
Buddy, for hanging in there with us. We've had a beautiful run with our family, the MG Show family and friends, all the beautiful mods, administrators, and of course the owners, Matrix and Shady Groove. We had a boardroom meeting last night, a private boardroom meeting, MG Show boardroom meeting, and a fabulous discussion about the future and where we're all heading and what direction we're going. And after about I would say a good 17 minutes or so of beautiful discussions, we both came to the conclusion that it was time for Qschqql. With myself and Kyle, Undercover White Hat, and now our beautiful mod and administrator, Mermaid Q. And, of course, we still have our prayer angel, Kelly, by our side for our beautiful prayers. But we've decided to expand our wings. We're out of the nest, and we're moving forward into a new direction, but still, obviously, a big part of the MG Show family. With lots of love and well wishes, everybody at the MG Show family wish us all the best, and they will work with us and promote us, and they just want they want to see Kyle and I with this Qschqql phenomena, which is just simply reading Q drops and just helping new people, new folks understand what this information and how powerful this information is and what it means to them and their families going forward through this fog of war that we find ourselves in this World War III episode that we're living in right now. So I just, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank everybody that we've met over the last year on this journey with the MG Show. If it wasn't for them, Qschqql wouldn't be here right now. And what's really interesting, and I'm going to bring Kyle on because I know his heart, his soul, and his mind is right into this. And he's excited like crazy, just like I am. I'm vibrating still. I can't believe this is happening. But for some reason, we know that God has his hand on all of us. And for some reason, something really interesting happened. Yesterday was February 23rd. And that's when we had the meeting with the MG Show family. And after discussions, of course, we're moving forward into the new Qschqql. We're going to try and run 7 days a week, starting time 7:17 Eastern Standard Time. But what's really interesting, and I shared this with Kyle, I wanted to keep it a secret, but I couldn't. But I'm going to blow your minds even before we get into the Q information. Would you guys believe for 17 seconds that I started my Telegram channel, Qschqql channel, exactly 1 year ago yesterday, February 23rd. So a bang on 1 year delta is when I opened up a Telegram channel to do Qschqql. And of course, after the meeting last night. So here we are on day 1 of year 2. In phase 2 of Qschqql. And to make things even more beautiful, watch this. I want Kyle, if you got Q, yeah, he does have it on the screen. Thanks, brother. Bring up Q drop 819. This is a total of 18, by the way, and we've talked about 18s, but watch what this Q drop says and look at the date stamp of it.
So Tim just added right there the 18. All right, I forgot to add that too, and then also, but we've stepped up so much farther with the time between the timestamps. I don't think we caught that before, but let's see what the guys caught last time. Let's take a look at the action.
Q drop 819, and I've got chills, and I know Kyle's freaking out. Yeah.
So
okay. So let's. Okay. Look at the. Okay. Look at the date.
Me with it right now.
Look at the date. What's the date?
Yeah.
February 23rd. Okay. Scroll down a little bit. Look at the meme. Let's look at the meme. Scroll down. Right there. What's it say?
Digging in the right place. Asking the right questions. Digging in the right place. Anons.
And there's a Q. There's a fellow standing there with doing the salute, the soldier salute, the digital soldier salute with the Q on his chest. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Watch this, folks. Okay, so this is interesting. Trump warns world of a very, very unfortunate phase 2, folks. Phase 2. So that's about North Korea and stuff. But scroll down a little further now. Look at this. Phase 2, no coincidences. And then Q says, no coincidence. Expand your thinking, Q. I don't know about you guys. Kyle, I'm going to hand this over to you. I'm just so damn excited about the direction we're heading right now with, of course, 117% total support from our family and friends over at the MG Show who got, helped us get this start with this beautiful venture that we're on right now. So, brother, what would you like to share with all these beautiful patriots that are still hopping in the chat right now going forward, brother? What are you seeing? What are you feeling?
Man.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it in the air tonight?
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, just again, our gratitude. Like, we've just been so blessed to have this opportunity. Again, thank you to MG Show and Matrix and Shady and all the mods that kept plugging along there. Thank you, Tim, for starting that the concept. If anyone, I mentioned it before, I had the idea. Excuse me, I've still got a little congestion, but a couple of years before, I was like, maybe if we could all get it on a Zoom call or something, and we could have some.
There, I think I'm going to kind of say a lot of the same things there. So I'm going to come back here for a second, check with my brother Tim, kind of those things we've covered there. We were so excited. It might even be that 2022 one or that 2018 one too. We're just so we were like electric, like I said, it just felt, and then it's so crazy, this full journey, and then all the amazing people we have with us now. And oh my goodness, it's just incredible. It's moving to kind of recap all this, and then the comments you guys are making regularly too in the chat. I've been, trying to keep an eye as best I could. They're flooding in, but it's overwhelming and amazing and special time to be alive.
It is. It really is. And the memories, I mean, we can never forget the times that we've all shared together. And then, of course, going into finishing year 5, entering year 6 now as we speak. I can't imagine what the next 5 years are going to look like after we're done with it on this journey that we're on. I don't think we'll ever be done, but I mean, for the heavy lifting and the hard stuff, the gut punching stuff, I think we're through most of it. The rest of I think we're in the mop up, cleanup stages right now. The unfolding of everything, the justice is coming part, and of course taking our power back, we the people, and not only for the United States but for every country around the world. It's really, really special time. So again, just to reiterate, I mean, year 1 was never recorded. It's in the memory banks of those who were involved in the first year. Year 2, that's the beginning of phase 2, year 2 with Qschqql. I sent you year 3, if you wanted to bring that part up and maybe talk a little bit about that. That's when at -48 we crossed paths with
okay, that's phase 3. That's right, because that's when I was kind of stepping away, and I did step away, and -48 came in. I'm also looking at Susan Calloway here, Mag 5 on Rumble, just awesome with the gematria. Phase 2, Tim, with the number 2. So phase is probably 49 impossible Q drops. Talking about the map, by the way. Remind me to bring up your graphic, Calloway, too, Will, that we've done from the Q drops. Please, I want to do that on our anniversary. But phase 2, Tim, with the number 2 is 51. That's the white hat Q drop. Phase 2 spelled out is 107. Oh, what a great find. Love that one. Thank you on that one. There's more comps for us because we're the talk about the white hat Q post all the time. Oh my gosh, there's so many awesome things. I also want to highlight too all the beautiful guests that we've had on too. Not only our amazing anons, and again, shout out again to Aaron and Bill Jackson. Amazing connections they make with all the beautiful patriots, helping facilitate many of the amazing guests and connections we've had on the show. We salute you. You all the patriots, the highest order. Thank you guys. Y'all loving just amazing people. So thank you guys for that too as well. We'll have to just scroll through it. So I know I'm missing it. Mark Cook. We had Professor Commits. I already started, but anyways, I don't know where I was going now. I'm gonna let somebody else. Where did I go?
It's exciting, yeah. So we're taking everybody on their journey. So we complete year 2, and then we start year 3 with on the anniversary date with -48. And then I sent you year 3 right now.
Here, I'll just show you where I'll share a screen what you were showing.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get the years in sequence, and then of course we're starting year 6, so that was the start of year 2. We're going to show you.
So okay, and then this is that
Start of year
222 episode. This would be a good one. This is and so we have this in the archive now. Anyway.
It's crazy that the timestamp on that.
I know it is, and I thought it was like
date.
222. I thought it was even supposed to be 222, but it was like 32 or something, or 33. So it's like got the Qschqql in there. And did anybody see what the date? What's the date and time? Let me go one tiny side scroll here and let's just show it. Oh no, it doesn't work on the date and time because the time between JFK Jr.'s plane crash and February 22nd, 2022. The years and months in between, but I'm not gonna mess with that one. Okay, so that was the unofficial one. I didn't get a chance to play that yesterday, but we'll try to slip it in here in the next few days. And then here's the one that I was just showing, our very official, very first one. It's /24 because the recording ended after midnight. So, and that one being a 222 also. I don't know if I knew that one. Is this one?
Wow.
Oh no, this is the 3rd anniversary. Which would be
yeah.
Wait,
that's year 3.
Year 3. So this is the one.
So read the part read that part right there. What did I say in that underneath? So this is our going into our 3rd year. No, we've completed 3 years. 3rd anniversary, 2024. You're muted, Kyle.
Thank you. All right.
So if we started February 23rd of 2021, we just showed the opening of 2022.
That was 4.0.
We missed the 2023 one. Where's 2023? I didn't give them to you in order, unfortunately. So we'll have to figure this out.
So okay, but it's this is this would be our 1st year. This is but it's technically our 1 year anniversary. This one, it says 3rd anniversary, but I don't. Oh yeah, Qschqql Garage. This would have been in 2024. So where'd the negative 48 one go? I don't know. Did you put that? Oh, here it is. Here's the 2nd anniversary.
Okay. There it is. There. Yeah.
This would be February of 23. Okay. And is this an episode in here? Okay. And do you want me to show part of this?
Sure. Yeah. Just take about 3 or 4 minutes of it.
Okay. Or you're just walking through the timeline. Huh? Okay. Well, let's see for a second.
Did you see the timestamp on that one? 3:33.
Wow, that's crazy. And the other one's
2:22 and 3:33. Are you kidding me?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Qschqql. Another special here on our 2-year anniversary. We have a special guest, Negative 48. Welcome, Negative 48. How are you today, sir?
Beyond excellent, of course. And I just happened to jump in by accident, kind of, because Juan O'Sullivan and Prime Minister and Jerry Foley are live right now over, I don't know, maybe PPN or something. It'll be, you can go on it, start at the beginning and catch all of it. But they started a while back, and I'm going to listen to it a little later. But I just had some time to, look at the internet a little bit and saw you were on and decided to listen. I was just happy to listen. Then I realized you were actually live.
Well, thank you, sir, for jumping in and giving us a beautiful surprise. I remember the last time you came to surprise us, we packed the place. I mean, we had 500-600 people in here, so I'm sure the word's going to get out soon. But Christian, if you're still there, yeah, she's unmuted. Go ahead, Christian, and start over again. Sorry to cut you off during the recording. We were coming down the home stretch anyway, but now we got all kinds of time. So, Christian, go ahead and ask Michael your question again, and we'll go forward. Anybody else has a question for Negative 48, go ahead and bump your mics. We'll unmute you from our end. Okay, here we go.
Hey, guys, again. Like I said, my question was, I listened last week when you came on, Michael, and, I'm not really the greatest coder in the world with the numbers, but I try. And I went back and watched the Jesus Strand. And like I said, what caught me in the first place was was the shit emoji. And I was like, well, that's an anagram for ship high in transit, so you won't blow your ship up with the gas that's made from the poop in there. So then I thought about it, and I coded it for a second, and I went, wait a minute. So who's buried in John F. Kennedy's tomb if he's not there? So I put that in the gematria calculator, it comes up to 348. And when you scroll down, it's, the sacred geometry of the human body. Let me find it. God's most powerful angel on earth. Love is pure, the only treasure. And there's all kinds of them on there that are really good. And I was like, well, I wonder what you would think about it. Because like I said, I don't code a lot. So I hope that's a valid question anyway.
Well, yeah, we know that shit is an anagram for, what you said. And the funny thing is where I'm at, there's peacocks. And when they go to the bathroom, it looks like a shit emoji, actually. And, God's most powerful is 228. And then the best yet to come, 228. And when you put angel on earth on the end, you have 348. God's most powerful angel on earth is 348. So, when you say a phrase, you should say the number after every one of them so everybody knows where you stop. And, people are new. They don't know what you're saying. So when you say God's most powerful angel on earth, 348, and then you say the 1960s, the decade that changed everything, is 347. So if you were to say one and say 348, somebody might double check you or whatever, but at least if you give a number, they can see that you're correct on your number. But as far as the eternal flame date, that eternal flame has a very interesting longitude and latitude, no different than Palm Beach, where Mar-a-Lago is, and no different than everywhere he had a rally in the Save America rally. All the Save America rallies in 2021 or 2022. Sorry, he's talking to us in a code that is so beyond what people are used to. Just like all the Q drops, it's so coded. Even the questions give you the answers because you can't break national security laws, even though we're a corporation. But we have this system in place that we would get exposed if we, the good guys, not me, just us, the good guys. We're all the good guys. Everybody on the show. If we gave an answer the wrong way, we'd be breaking a law. And so the way Q asks questions and sets it up, it tells you the answers. If you've been following Q. And one of the main things you have to know is you have to know that Q drop 40, because of the way they talk in code, which we're doing here. Don't tread on me. Murder most foul 348. Because it was a murder most foul that took place in Dallas, Texas. So the eternal flame date was 3/15. That's when COVID started in this country. It was on March 15th, and the funny thing is that D-Day shares a very interesting number with the day he was killed, and that is 11/22/1963. If you times all the numbers out, 1 times 1 times 2 times 2 times 1 times 9 times 6 times 3 is 648. The mere reflection of 846 when Tower 1 got hit. The mere reflection of how long George Floyd had a knee on his neck. And when he came back on D-Day, when Trump went over and shook his hand in the wheelchair in the middle, not the little guy on the left that's way too short to be JFK, it was June 6, 2019. Well, 6 times 6 times 2 times 0 times 1 times 9 is 648. Now, if you stack them, 6 and 6 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. There's the first part of 315. 48 and 48 is 96. 9 and 6 is 15. There's your 315. People are going to be blown away. And 3 times 15 is 45. He's 40 president. And 4 eighths, 45. God's 45. Fox is 45. And so boom is 45. Boom, 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 boom. Because there's 5 booms on that gun. There's a vertical one that's hidden, the 5th column, so to speak. And so we're going to be blown away by what he did, how he did it.
2:23
there's
local
going to be
time.
people studying this for 100,000 years. I mean, they're never going to stop studying it because it's really, really complicated to learn everything. It's not nobody can learn it all. It's just insane. But nobody is 75, which is magic wand.
All right, I'm gonna cut it there. I know I feel some of you want to keep going with that one a little bit there. That's that's our man there. Negative
Oh
48.
yeah, that was next level stuff right there. That's when we really started getting into gematria with Michael Protzum at negative 48, and that's where Qschqql made a bit of a switch where we would work with the Q drops, the Intel board, and the gematria, everybody that studied gematria, and try to intermingle them and explain how they intertwine and connect with each other and the power of numbers. And yeah, that was quite a year that year, and we did a lot of that. We brought Adam, brother Adam. I remember, I think later on that year, I think it was I'm trying to remember, it was during the Pup Project. So that would have been in season
sometime before, though. I think before the Pup Project, he came in and he started doing gematria. Right. I think kind of right after when Kyle, left, and then Adam came in, and it was for some people it was amazing, but for some people it was just a little. They weren't ready for it yet, I think. And so it's a process. Like maybe we should have Adam come in and Jay and talk about gematria sometime. And
I'd love that at any time, any day, time. We should need to do a whole show on gematria. Actually, we've been talking about that for a minute. So Jay, if you're listening, Adam, we're calling you through the Easter if you're not listening. Sorry, Mel, go ahead.
Because do the Q posts talk about it, gematria, but they kind of do, don't they? They go
40.
40. That's what he was. Yeah, he's referencing, and also the Q drop 35. Because let's just show a few of them for a second here. Let's bring it up here. Let me think what I want to show. Let's go to a Q board here.
So that was our third. That was the start of our third year. Just to keep everybody on track here. So we went through year 1, year 2, and that was the beginning of year 3. And then after this, we'll bring up year 4.
Okay.
Year five is basically was basically me just using the Qschqql Telegram channel as a television station on Telegram, where I would play 24 hours, 7 days a week. And we had brother Scott, our nighttime manager. So I would stream all day until I was tired. And then Scott would come on later in the evening, usually around 11 p.m. or midnight-ish Eastern time. And he would take the controls and the stream until the next morning when I got up. And we did that pretty much for at least that whole year, if not a little bit longer, and until my computer blew up. I couldn't stream it anymore. I still got to get a new computer. I'll get us back on year 6. We're going to get back into the Qschqql TV stuff with the Qschqql shows live with you. But go back to what you were saying, Kyle. Sorry about that. I just wanted to fill in some gaps.
No. It's all good. I'm trying to. There's so many things twirling through the mind to talk about and keeping up there. I mean, you're good. So I was even thinking too. I just saw the timestamp on that Qschqql. I think. Let me see if I can show the screen on it. Oh yeah, and I was going to show the couple of the Q drops. That's what it was. Yeah. But here's the song, and I just saw this too. I don't know if I can zoom in. Oh, I can. Look at the time of the Qschqql song that the twins made us. It just went dark here. Look at that.
Oh my God, 322. Are you kidding me?
322.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, I can't wait to. I got actually. I don't know, Mel. Can you take a screenshot real quick?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
That is crazy coincidence right there.
No coincidences, sir. Expand your thinking.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got more chills. That's crazy. Right? I mean, there's no way they planned that. I mean, that's our little.
They wouldn't even know that. Yeah, they wouldn't have known that.
They wouldn't have known.
Yeah, because
Wow.
the mirror thing, or they didn't plan that.
That is wild. Nice find, Kyle. Nice find. Yeah, that's our our new jingle that we use most times now. Thanks, Andrea and Q Livia, for putting that together for us. And we are
Okay,
going to
so
make a video. We're going to make that into a video so that we can just click.
yeah. Yeah, it'd
forward.
be great. We want to do that. And General Apex, you're watching. I'll try the one on the Telegram. Like something with the Telegram specifically, one was weird. If you can just upload one on your video you already have, just post it as an X or even Rumble. I can get it if you're still watching. I'd love to play that. Susan Calloway, if you're still with us, please remind me to show the graphic that you made with our codes too. I want to show Tim this. Tim hasn't seen it. Made a beautiful graphic.
And
I got it on my phone. If she can jump in, of
Brittany's-
course. Mama can come in. I don't mind.
Yeah, and then Brittany Stover did something too. Remember, she did one with, was it Brittany? That
Oh,
did
you
it?
mean like the tributes to us and stuff?
Yeah, that was a Q post one.
Yeah, I mean,
anyways.
yeah, I know they. Yeah, Brittany had one. Susan Calloway had one. Oh, there's so many good ones.
You guys are so amazing.
I wish I had all this stuff ready. Okay, so let me show a couple of Q drops with the gematria. But Q drop 34 and 48, which is also that timestamp of the Q drop. We're going to come full circle since we're hitting you guys with so much stuff. The Q drop 223 has 1 1 2 3 1 2 3 A B C, and then it goes like this too. 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 46 is in there. 35 and 46. Actually, if you add 23 plus 12 is 35 and 46, so we get all the numbers in there, which adds up to 81. 81 mirrored is 18, which is R. And Tim said R with the timestamp, I think, on this one. Where was that? I don't know. Anyways, Betsy D, Secretary of Education, Secretary of the Department of Education, DOE. And then here's the timestamp on 322, the mirror. It's 22, 34, and 48, which are both the Q clearances in there. Negative 48 is in that situation. And those are the drops over here too. There's 34 and 48. 34, Q clearance Patriot. Q drop 48. What is Q clearance? What hint does it explicitly refer to? DOE, Department of Education. Double, triple meanings always exist, kids. How deep do you want to go? Look at the timestamp from Q drop 34 to 48. Thank you, Mr. Smith on QAG. It's 14 minutes, 48 seconds. 14 hours, 48 minutes, 14 seconds. Check that one out. That's pretty fun. We know what's Q drop 28 all about, Tim? Which is
28. That's that famous spy. The spy, the infiltrating the infiltrators. The Melania wearing the spy hat. I call it the spy Q drop 28.
Q drop 28, 14 plus 14. I was surrounding the 40. There it is right there. Melania was wearing the high black collared outfit with black sunglasses. January 20th, 2021, when the world thought Joe Biden was going to be president of the United States. Became president of the corporation, which we have now bankrupted. You're going to like that one. And then, anyways, Q drop 28, but it's all about Antifa. Military intelligence has infiltrated the infiltrators for years and years and years. That's what it's all about. We've talked about this many times, okay? So also cool was that 14 was on both sides of 48 on the timestamp on this Q drop 22.
Yeah, the Durham boat crossing the Delaware.
It was Q drop.
That's probably my favorite Q drop, I think, as far as information goes, like learning the full picture.
What?
Were we going to do 40?
Yeah, we're going to show the gematria ones. These ones were connected to Qschqql and negative 48 specifically. So let's show some of the gematria ones. So the first one is actually 35, but it's really drawn out 40. And then what else we got? What's 42? That's a little bit different. 42. I'm missing one. Somebody help me with the other one. There's something I'm missing.
Thinking about?
It's going to come up here. So negative 48 mentions Q drop 40. This is like the first and primary one.
Mm-hmm.
Q drop 40, November 2nd, 2022, which, by the way, if you look at the date like that, that's 11/22. So we have a JFK connection. That was the assassination attempt on JFK on this timeline that you're on. And the timestamp is 2 hours, 18 minutes. So 2:18. And let's do the full coding. Like you said, we're going to do coding. So if we go over to gematria, and you 218 in there, we're going to do John. Am I sharing my screen right? John F. Kennedy Junior and John F. Kennedy 131, by the way. Adam Charles Branch 131. Shout out to our Spy Balloon 131, our friends. But spell out Junior, and you get 218. John F. Kennedy Jr. spelled out simple English gematria. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. John 47, F. Kennedy Jr. comes out to 218. Right? One, and that's also the day negative 48 came on in Qschqql February 17th, 2023, but also stayed through the night into 2018. Then that was our other episode we did there too. But 218, okay, back to the Q drop. So if we're looking at gematria now, Q drop 40, that timestamp also connects to John F. Kennedy Jr. I just showed that with gematria.
And the 35th president, the 35th president.
And my Autist brother already got the next connection. We got JFK Jr. with 218, and then 35. JFK is the 35th president of the United States, and here's the 1122 with the 218 in between there. By the way, now that the Anons know the comms too, there's 2 18s. There's 2 R's, the twins. Okay, the 2 twins, the twin stars activated. Q++ is the 2 twins. Also, double meanings do exist. You gotta love that shit. Okay, so then the Q drop. Danny said, oh, so here's the Q drop right here. Anybody, you guys want to explain it? Tim, you want to explain this one?
Yeah, sure. This is what you call, and it took me a while to learn all this, and I'm still learning, and it's really intriguing. But this is the simple gematria. So you're converting your numbers into letters and letters back into numbers, right? So it goes both ways. But the 4, 10, 20, if you convert the fourth letter, the 10th letter, and the 20th letter, it turns out to DJT. DJT for sure.
And that's what this is showing here, 4, 10, 20, because then it's A, B, C, D, E, and then 6 dots, F, F. You do the rest of those letters. Again, 4th letter D, 10th letter J, 20th letter T. Also, if you add that up, 4 plus 10 plus 20 equals 34. And I was just showing you, so let me make a separate tab for that because I took those ones away. This other one is Q drop 34 and 48. And that's how what we were showing here is these 2 Q drops are significant because it's in the Q drop 322 drop. I know I'm hitting with a lot of stuff here, but the Skull and Bones drop, aka the Mirror of Qschqql, has 22, 34, 48 also in it. These connections we have with Q Clearance Patriot. 34 is also 217, so Q+. But then DJT in simple English gematria comes out to 34 also, right? DJT is 34. Who's the 34th president of the United States? We always talk about 35. Who knows that one? Put that in the chat. Who's the 34th president of the United States? That's somebody that's connected to Qschqql also, and the plan for sure, if you know what's going on. So let's go the rest of here, the 2 Q drops. And then here was that timestamp too, from the time from Q drop 34 to 48. Imagine how much information was in those 14 Q drops in the same day. 14 hours, I guess it's technically the next day, 14 hours later, 48 minutes, 14 seconds. Is that Mama in there? Want to let her in?
Sure.
Mama's on the stage here. And then,
also I put in Jackson 5, the ABC.
Okay, perfect.
Because I think that if you think a lot of people may not know that song, but once you get it in your head too, people rhythmically just remember what is gematria. It's
easy.
It's easy.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3.
But it's more complicated than that. But that's a very simplistic way of it. If we want to get into the when you look it up, you'll see that there's the Jewish. And that's based off of the Merkaba and their language. So that's why simple gematria is really, in the English language, is what we should, in my opinion, use. And we can talk about gematria sometime too. The Merkaba is kind of the spinning toroidal force of everything. And the Jewish letters, if you spin it 10 degrees and took a 2D picture, it creates the Hebrew language.
What she's really saying for the less autists around here is that's also sacred geometry is also frequency and sound. So the gematria with Hebrew is based off the sound of the words. Okay, so the words then had a numeric value. A lot of people would hate on English and say, "Oh, it's not Hebrew," blah blah. Like, are you supposed to be Hebrew? There's a lot of debate with this. I'm just going my personal journey. I kind of was resistant because the people that were originally on YouTube were using it deceptively, and I knew that spiritually, and other reasons. But then Negative 48 made me understand a much deeper level. And let me just do the most basic of it since we've gone down this route. I don't want to go too far with this, but the most simple thing I love the most, and again, Adam Charles Branch can do so much better, and of course Negative 48 does an incredible job with this kind of stuff. But if you do every single letter in the alphabet, trying to talk and do three things, but A plus B plus C, so A plus 1 plus Z, all the way to, and by the way too, this is, like Mel was saying, simple. You teach children this, they'll pick it up in a heartbeat, and then they're doing math in their head and they're learning the letters, and it's incredible to teach children. They're sponges. This teaches you all the things. And in fact, talk about coincidences, Tim. In my 3rd grade class, we got taught this. They didn't call it gematria, at least I don't remember it, but it was A1, B2. You had to find words that added up exactly to 100. And then, with my brain, I remember the numbers always after that. But here's the English alphabet. Is A plus B plus all the way to Z equals 351. Okay, now there's many of these, but God communicates through, I spelled it backwards, but it's the same thing, through numbers 351. Okay, let me make it right. God communicates through numbers 351. The holy 26 letters 351. There's many of those. Okay, and then let's go with like stuff Jay's taught me and other people though, and I heard Negative 48 more than is 351. The mirror of that is 153. But if you do think mirror, it comes out to 153. So you start thinking forward and backwards. See, 153 is 351 mirrored, but then you go mirror, reflection, and you're back to 351. Okay, and then there's other things too, like we don't even need the Q letter in the alphabet. We could use like multiple letters to in place of that, like CU, but because of that, Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet, means we have 26 letters in the alphabet, and with 26 letters, God comes out to 26 also. G is 7, O is 15, D is 4. We could go on, but essentially God is encoded in the English alphabet, and we speak English, so I stick to simple English gematria. Salute to all the people that use all the different ciphers. They all have their meaning.
And you got, I didn't know this, but look at the 17 and the 55 in there.
Oh, 1755. Check this out. And I'm not saying me in place of this God here in any way, but it's just catching the attention, my connection to it. It's slightly different, where you see how encoded you are in this whole movement. Kyle 53, JFK 35 mirrored, 17 55, and then 19, Trump is the 19th president of the republic, if we follow in that thing too. So this is how you also find your other connections to the movement, and other connections like that is with gematria as well too. So the simple English gematria is what we focus on with the
what was the one with Matthew Q again? Maybe show everybody.
Let's do that one. It would be beautiful.
Matthew Q one, because this blew my mind. So long story short, I learned during the movement, because we love I love the 17th letter. We all love the 17th letter Q. And we added Q to Matthew's name because he was a big part of Qschqql right from the very beginning. So it was always Matthew up until probably about 2 years ago. Now we started calling him Matthew Q, because it had a nice rhyme to it. But did you know that Matthew is a Q baby? I'm a Q baby, and his mother's a Q baby, because his mother was born February 17th. Matthew was born on February 15th of the year 2000.
So that's February 15th is 2 plus 15. 00 is the 17. Keep going, Brother Tim.
Yeah, and then the father, me, Tim 17, I was born on March 3rd of 64. So 3rd month, 4th day, 64.
He said March 3rd. You see these weird comms? I'm like, what's happening? Am I tripping? It's March 4th. He might have said something different. March 4th, 64. 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4, 17. Keep going, brother.
Well, that's Matthew. What's that?
Oh, I don't know if you said the 3rd. So I was like, what? I was like, that was on a different timeline. You said your birthday was the 3rd. You didn't realize you said it. So
I meant to say 3rd month. March 4th, 64.
I know. Yeah. Keep going. So 3 plus 4. So let me show the gematria of Matthew now for what we're talking about. So, and he's got a unique spelling, which is beautiful. Again, how it's just everything divinely orchestrated. IEU like that, which 77 for Matthew. Which I love that one so much. And then you add the Q is 94. Now watch this. 94 is simple. And so what reduction is to, guys, is each letter gets reduced. So M, instead of being 13, would be a 4. 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 8. And that's how you get reduction. Reverse is the opposite. So instead of A being 1, A would be 26, Z would be 1. Okay. And then reverse reduction, same thing. But generally, when you have one word, even the same letters, I mean, not the same letters, but the same length of letters, and you have even the same simple gematria on the ordinal, you rarely see a lot of the same combos on all these others. Like, I wish I could think of a bunch of examples. But what you'll see here with Matthew Q, when I do white hat, it's identical all the way across the board. White hat is, you know what I mean, is 94, reduction 40, 122, and then 41. And then again, that's the white hat is also Matthew Q with the gematria 94, 40, 122, 41.
That blew my mind when we found that. That was only about 3-4 months ago when you found that one, I think, too, eh?
Yes, very recently, because again, I didn't know all the numbers. So even that QDrop 2788 on the PM time is 157, all these different connections. Let me go one more for Tim with this whole journey we've been on. Major QDrop we've connected with is that QDrop 51 over, and we didn't know this one right away because for multiple reasons. Again, probably divine timing, but 51 is this massive QDrop. Look at that. Same date as the one we were other shown there, 11/22/2017. So same day as the QDrop 48. And One Nation Under God. Okay, we've talked about this QDrop quite a bit. Really special QDrop. Anon is talking for everybody right here. And he's mentioning OP Anon. OP in simple English, 31. WH White Hat, 31. OP, 31. Because there wasn't a Q post yet, not till QDrop 61. QAnon, simple English gematria 61. And then this one's signed by the White Hats. So White Hat, 94. Simple English gematria, Matthew Q, 94. All the way across the board. So that's that QDrop. And you can even do it one word, whatever. But like that. But the QDrop 51. And then, Tim, remember you're getting all those comms with 15 also, right?
Yep.
So you kept getting the comms 15, 51. There are more good people than bad. The wizards and warlocks, inside term, will not allow another evil, satanic POS control our country. Realize Soros, Clintons, Obama, Putin, etc. are all controlled by 3 families. The 4th was removed post Trump's victory. By the way, that doesn't mean inauguration. That means victory, whatever it is. 11.3 Podesta indicted. 11.6 human indicted. This is the only one with the good speed Patriots. PO sources targeted. But Tim, what's Matthew Q's favorite Q post?
The one that says poof.
Poof, right?
Number 7.
Yeah. So QDrop 51 is the White Hat QDrop. Mirroring it 15, especially for our autist friends that mirror and see things back, forward, and backwards. So if you put QDrop 15 and 51 together, do you remember what that QDrop is, Tim?
15 and 51.
Get together, QDrop 15, 51.
Oh, the 1551. No, jog my memory.
Check it out. It's just a screenshot of this Q post. Why don't you read it for us?
Matthew's favorite QDrop. QDrop 7.
Matthew's favorite QDrop is 1551. White Hat QDrop 51.
God.
Simple gematria. How do you like me now? Let's get chills everywhere. Read it for us, brother.
Yeah, why wasn't HRC prosecuted for the emails? Put simply, Obama ultimately okayed by using the non-government email ID to communicate with Clinton. Obama also had an alias along with each of his cabinet members. Therefore, indicting HRC would lead to indicting Obama and his cabinet, etc., which could never happen. Remember, he lied about knowing, but that ultimately came out in the dump. Poof.
Poof. Yes, sir. Matthew's favorite QDrop, man. He loved that one over the years. And then Q doesn't even say anything else. Just post Matthew's QDrop, Matthew's favorite QDrop on 1551. And thank you again for all the gematria we've had with all that. And one more full circle, if your minds aren't blown yet, Susan Calloway found that phase 2 equals 51, Tim. Spelled out. Oh, but let's spelled out like this. Phase 2 spelled out like that's 107. With 35.
Jeepers, look at that. Wow.
Holy
That
smoke.
is unbelievable. Oh my God. Every day we learn something new. Another amazing no coinkydinks, right? Hi, Renee. Nice to see you, sister. Love, love, love. Thank you for joining us.
We
Missed
finally
ya.
got the beautiful Anon. Hello, beautiful.
Hello, guys.
Hello, Mama. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Doing real good. I needed this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good to
no
have you.
problem. Anytime, anytime. Yeah, I see you're inside your wheels, your home on wheels. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
I
good for
love it.
you.
Good for
Good for
you.
you. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, we're coming down the home stretch. So before I got about, let's go back to the year 4, the video. Go back to your DM.
Okay.
I think it's. I'm trying to remember what we did on our 4th anniversary.
So
Now,
this
again,
was like during the project, and I had actually come back,
okay.
back into the fray, and then it was not very often, but we definitely want to do something for our anniversary, so we did another recording, and I think it was a crazy timestamp with that one too. Oh, the 4.0. See, that might even be the 5 of that May 17th. I thought we did another one. Where'd it go? There's that one.
Yeah, just
Fever.
and again back to, and then of course the 5th anniversary or year 5
Oh yeah, this
was
one.
when most of us took a break from doing the actual Qschqql lives, but Qschqql was still operational 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by me and Scott, brother Scott, working in tandem, showing all the various documentaries and and your X-22 reports and LTM We Know and Red Pill 78 and all the different shows, even Trump Jr. show, a lot of Real America's Voice stuff during the day, the news. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me read this. This is his 3rd anniversary, which would be year 4 though. So we're trying to get our numbers here.
Yeah.
And but this was, so I came back. So we did this recording though, and then the sound doesn't sound so great because I'm playing the Cappy song, which was my favorite. But everybody was
look at the timestamp. Look at the timestamp.
I know it's 2:23, and then it's 2:2. It's 2:23, 2:2, and that's, I mean, that is just crazy. And so here we are, and then lost count, the booms, and then so that we did this really fun recording. Hopefully the audio was okay there, and then we went here, and I think Renee's on this one. So full circle, check this out. Welcome to Qschqql. I think she's on this one. Yeah, the May 17th. Yeah, she's right there. Look at that. There's the graphic. Mountain Mama.
There she is.
Oh, zooming is so strange.
Wow, timing is everything, Mountain Mama.
Timing is everything. Full circle. Full circle. And that's when we finally started having our faces on there. So there we were doing a thing. All of us doing Qschqql like we do. There's Mountain Mama.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, look at that.
2 days before I went to that rally. I showed up at that rally and bought my shirt that day.
By the way, this is the infamous Mountain Mama, Tiffany Blue Hat. Mountain Mama, I want to celebrate you. We want to do a whole show on you, so I'm glad you're here.
Should pull up a picture.
We're getting ready to check out of here with our anniversary, but we want to have you on when you're ready and celebrate you and like let all of our people know about you too, what she's done.
There it is. There's the hat.
She was in the tight shot next to Vincent Fusca, right behind Donald Trump, July 13th, 2024. So.
Rose between 2 thorns.
I
love it.
Or a blooming idiot. Doesn't matter.
A rose.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful blue
Yes.
rose. So all these amazing Patriot. I'm so stoked we got the highlight. I wish we could have highlighted more. There's several other ones that are just crazy. Oh, let me do one last one. We're getting short on time. Share anything you want to Tim, I know you said you got to take off, if you can hang a minute or anything else you want to show. And then I got one more little dig.
Yeah, no, you go ahead. I'll close out by like for myself. I'll just say I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us for all these different years of doing the Qschqql stuff, all the shenanigans, everything, the ups and downs and everything in between that we've gone through. But most importantly, I'll never forget. I've got so many memories locked and loaded from all the friendships, all the time we've spent together, the ones that we've lost, unfortunately. We'll never forget your efforts, and I'm really looking forward to we've accomplished five solid years of information researching and learning not only about ourselves, about each other, and about this crazy world we live in, but we've also learned how to start taking back our power. And I can't wait to see how the next 5 years are going to unfold. And I know that I've always used, or no, I shouldn't say I've always used it, but just recently it really came to me, the vision of us. You know, we've been going up this very steep hill all these years, you know, climbing and grinding, and our fingernails are covered in dirt and scarred and scraped and bruised, and we're you know, everybody's been hurting and in pain, and different things going on in our lives with your family members, your friends, you know, getting stabbed in the back and called all kinds of names. But we clawed and clawed and clawed together, and we've gotten up to we're coming up to the very crest of that tall climb and all along. And I really believe that the next 5 years are going to be smooth sailing all the way down to where we get to that beautiful world that we've always, well, I shouldn't say always, because a lot of us had to find the time to learn that we've been lied to. You know, everything has been a lie for most of all of our lives. And we've been robbed from, stolen from, lied to, mistreated, and you name it. And the tide is turning, and we're turning the ship, and we're climbing to the peak of that hill. And I'm really looking forward to the next 5 years with all of you. And I can't wait for the next 5 years. Qschqql, it gives me God bumps just thinking about it. You know, we've come so far and we've accomplished so much, but there's still lots to do. But it's going to be an easier journey than the first 5 was, just saying. But
definitely, guys, it's going to be easier. That's the key part. And then, we've gotten over the hump, and we've gotten so strong and powerful. There's going to be more hiccups on the road, but it's going to be a lot more beautiful. Qschqql is going to be about teaching the little kekies about gematria early on, and teaching how to, you know, farm your own food. But we're also going to use technology in a good way that doesn't ruin the earth, and it helps the people, and free energy. And this is going to be also the continuing evolution of Qschqql on the road, is how to get free energy, how to sub these communities. So we got it all going on, and we appreciate all you guys.
What's that Q drop? That Q drop, beautiful new world. Can you bring that up quickly? Just type.
I think it might be Brave New World. Let's just try New World.
Brave New World. Yeah, that's it. Brave New World.
Show you a Brave New World.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. I'm curious as to the deal of that.
So I just searched New World. I was surprised there's only there's only this few, because I thought there'd be a lot more New World Order ones. But I just do New World. So those are the darker ones. New World. Here's a cool one. Your trust and faith in a. Let's see what the Anon asked here. Hold on. Here's a good one though. Not the one Tim wants to ask for. I'm going to have Tim in the, but Q drop 1052, April 6th, 2018, 17:543 in there. 4 minutes, 26 seconds reply. Look at that timestamp, 17:01:17. If this isn't for us, Qschqql, 34 plus 1's 35, JFK, or Q clearance.
Wow.
Okay. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
Yes.
Where we go one, we go all. Melzie agrees. Many of us has felt this way, guys. We've all felt this way. Those peaceful warriors. We know war. We don't want it. We want peace, but we're whiteouts are watching us closely because they know we're fucking pissed off. Level 17.99. You know what I mean? So they know what's up. It means we're getting closer, guys. The Q proofs are getting more drastic, more in your face. The Q drops are more alive than they've ever been before. Trump is confirming it more rapidly. So yes, it's getting more scary in the outer world, but that's because the beast is dying. So it's kicking and screaming and making a lot of noise. Right, but we got this. So this Q drop here. Your trust and faith in us is enough. You elected us to do the heavy lifting. That was in 2016. Enjoy the show. Birth of a New Nation, New World Q. And now let's do the one
that's I love that one.
Yeah, big one. I should have let that sit there for a minute. But then now I'll let you do this. Here we go. This one's Tim. Send us on out. We're gonna close up. Maybe we'll be a 2:23 timestamp again. We'll see. But Q drop. I'll let Tim take away. Q drop 2450 here.
Right on. It says, we're going to show you a new world. Those who are blind will soon see the light. A beautiful, brave new. I knew beautiful was in there. A beautiful, brave new world lies ahead. We take this journey together, one step at a time. Where we go one,
we go all.
See you guys tomorrow. Love, love, love. We'll see you.
Look at Tim. The very next post just has a 2 in the brackets. Phase 2.
Phase 2, baby.
Bonus Q post. Bonus Q post.
God. Thank you.
For the first time, the United States has in you a president who courageously defends the right to life. Anyways, this is from the Carlo Vignotti. Thank you, Tim. Love you, brother.
Thanks,
I can't
guys.
wait to
great show. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, Renee. Thank you. Love, love, love.
Yeah, I love Renee. Thank you,
Love.
thank you.
Bye, guys.
See you later. All right, so I got nothing left. I'm tapped out. We'll try to do a little closeout here and wrap it up. So love, guys. So information
Right,
worth.
next time we're on, I got to talk about my lunatic neighbor.
Oh, I want to do the whole thing. Yeah, or whatever you got. You know, we'll talk about that on Telegram first.
Just saying, yeah, we got to talk about it. You got to hear it.
Sounds good.
She bat crap crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh no.
TDS for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, some of that you're gonna see some of that. And people will help people navigate with that. So keep an eye on that.
Adios, you guys. Thanks.
Love you, Renee.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Information warfare. Oh, let's do this one.
We could do A, B, C.
Oh, how long is that?
1, 2, 3. It's well, you know, we're
not gonna make it.
We're not gonna make it. So just play it. It's at the bottom of Diggers if you
okay,
want.
so okay, perfect. Yep. And it's the YouTube video or something?
Yep.
Okay. Diggers. Thanks guys. Appreciate y'all. Love. Yeah, we'll see you soon. Oh, the State of the Union tomorrow. So I want to maybe play the older one tomorrow, earlier in the day. We'll see. Just make sure you got your notification on. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Make sure I got my blockers on. Okay. All right. Looks like we're ready to go. All right, everybody. Here comes Michael Jackson, ABC 1, 2, 3. Shout out Michael too, in case you're watching. Love to all the beautiful family out there supporting us. We appreciate y'all. Let's carry on through the storm, baby. It'll be easy as 1, 2, 3. ABC 1, 2, 3. I butchered it. Anyways, let them do the thing. Let them sing along. Here we go. Love you guys.
Here's the youthful Jackson 5, opening with a medley of their hits that have sold over 1 million each hit.
ABC is easy, like counting up the beat.
All right. I don't think like us playing that song too much. Y'all hopefully got to watch it. We love y'all. Thanks for joining with us. 5-year anniversary. We got 5 more on the books. It's gonna be a